Donald Tucker, the voice of the Wildcats. On tonight's show, we take a look at possibly one of the biggest games for Har-Ber this year as we take on the Bentonville Tigers. Plus, Trey Smith and David Val will be in the studio to join us. Today is October 9th, 2015, and Wildcat Sports Network starts now. Last Friday was against our crosstown rival Springdale Bulldogs, and while our Wildcats certainly came out on top, there was a much deeper tradition behind the game.
The week of rivals, that can only mean one thing. Two teams compete to be the best of the city. 10 years of traditions and turning one game into one community. I took to the stands to see just what it means to the fans.
Back in the old days, football's always been big. You look where we are, we're in Arkansas. Last time I checked the globe, that means we're in the South. And when you're in the South, especially in Arkansas, that means football's big. You come together on a Friday night, and it's just special for everyone. Everyone comes together. It's in your blood. I remember growing up with my dad and my grandpa. I'd watch football with them. I'd played football myself, and just coming back together, you can be with your old buddies, reminiscing the good old days, and seeing your kids whoop down on whoever they're playing. But it's just a lot of fun regardless.
With Har-Ber and Springdale rivalry, the one thing that ensues years after year is Spirit Week. And Har-Ber celebrates it in a very unique way.
Spirit Week, definitely a big tradition. The whiteout for the Springdale game is always the biggest game of the year. It means a lot to me. Just Har-Ber, pride in Har-Ber, and rivals, crosstown rivals, is a big deal.
While Har-Ber celebrates in their unique, and Springdale in their own, the one thing that remains true is that regardless of the score, a community is brought together.
Springdale's awesome. We have cool pep rallies, and this means that Springdale's still great regardless of what that says over there.
10 years of Har-Ber football, 10 years of competition, 10 years of Springdale. Regardless of what the scoreboard says, it's about the relationships built. For WCSN, I'm Ashlyn Grace Brothers.
Thanks, Ashlyn. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we'll have Coach Wood with us to help recap last Friday night. Stay tuned. You're watching the Wildcat Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Susie Everett with Everett Chevrolet. You've heard me say we have a better way to buy your new Chevy. If you've not been here to find out what that means, I want to invite you to come see us. You'll love the way we do business. And you can shop our great selection of the North American Truck of the Year, the Chevy Silverado, with the best V8 fuel economy of any full-size truck. Family owned, customer friendly, Everett Chevrolet in Springdale, I-49 at Elm Springs Road.
Hometown. That word still means something here. It means we're neighbors. We do the right thing. We care about your family. And you deserve the very best every time you walk in the front door. Harps. Hometown fresh.
Welcome back. Here with us now is Coach Wood. Coach, let's talk a little bit about last Friday night. Crosstown rival, big game. From our perspective, it looks like there's not a lot to improve on when you win 48-10 against Springdale. What's your takeaway from watching the game, Phil?
Well, I thought our guys played with great passion. They took it just like another week. Try to get better each week, try to do little things better. I thought as we got into it, I thought defense kind of set the precedence for us. They got them stopped, punted, and then we were able to score on second down. We felt they were going to bring pressure. Tried to screen them early. It did pay off big for us. And then I thought another big play in the game early on, even when it was still trying to settle down, was the fumble that we recovered right around midfield and then came right back, tried to get a little special play on them, came up a little bit short on that. Then we settled back down, continued to kind of put points on, and just executed for the most part. But once you get back to film and you see the details of it, there's just a lot of things you can still get better at, and that's what we're trying to do.
You mentioned in the past shows the kicking game has been kind of a source that you wanted to focus on.
Right.
Has the kicking game improved? Is it where you want it to be at this stage in the season?
Well, we really like Jesus, our sophomore kicker. Friday night probably wasn't his best night of kicking, but he's a kid that continues to get better. Like what we're doing, we really didn't have any opportunities on punt returns. Our punt team, they really didn't get very many opportunities Friday night. Kickoff team, they got some work, and they're doing a good job covering the lanes and all that. And I mean, it's just one of those situations last Friday night. There just wasn't a lot of work for our special teams. But we'll have opportunities down the road to get them some more work, and they just got to focus and practice on the details so when it is a big opportunity for them, they're ready to go.
What are the things that you practice on this week to get better at for Bentonville?
Well, I can't tell you that. We're playing. No, I'm kidding. We're just, we really worry about ourselves, to be honest with you. I mean, we always want to be better tacklers defensively. We want to be assignment-driven defensively, and we're striving to do that. And, our defensive staff with Coach Fimple and them, they have a great plan. They always put a great plan in place, and it's just getting a lot of reps for those kids will execute it. But it comes down to the little things like Friday night against Springdale. I had a couple opportunities to get some picks. Came up a little bit short on that, so they get back into practice the next week. They work on those areas. They try to create turnovers, recovering those, trying to make the plays where they can get the ball. Then offensively, we just got to continue to improve in the trenches. We want to be better on our combo blocks, routes, blocking downfield from the receiver position, running backs hitting the holes. I mean, we're just a group that really focuses on the little things, the simple things of the game. Try to be as great at it as we can. We feel like that's going to give us a chance on a Friday night.
Great. Coach, if you would hang around with us, we're going to bring you back to help us close out the show. If you would stay with us, coming up next we have Trey Smith. You're watching the Wildcat Sports Network.
We came to Arvest Bank to see what makes it different.
It's a community bank that really reaches out to the customers to make them feel special. I feel special every time I come in here.
They want to be involved in the community and want to be part of the community.
They support our university, our athletic department.
They've told us that they could have a fleet of volunteers there to help this year if we needed.
I see them at a lot of our Hispanic community events that we do.
I can't think of another bank in the city that has such a big community presence as Arvest.
Arvest Bank, our customers say it best.
This is Jack. And this,
I am starving,
is Jack's appetite. It's never satisfied.
I'm hungry.
Seriously, dude?
What?
Then Jack's mom started serving Tyson Anytizer snacks. With all white meat and lots of protein, they're the only snacks that make Jack's appetite disappear. Tyson Anytizer snacks. Consider snacking solved.
Here with us now is Trey Smith. Trey, welcome to the show.
All right, thank you.
Tell me a little bit about how your season's gone so far this year.
My season has gone pretty well. I've actually had a lot more catches this year than I had last year. My receiving stats have gone up. So far as my rushing stats, they really haven't really gotten anywhere yet, but I'm hoping they're going to get bigger as the year goes.
Excellent.
So my year's gone pretty well. I mean, we're only in to Bentonville now, so I'm hoping for a big game tonight.
Excellent. Tell me, how does this year compare to last season as far as you go?
This year, just the people around me, they've actually helped me focus a lot more on this season. My mind is actually a little more tuned into state this year, to whereas last year it really wasn't, because I was just a sophomore starting on varsity. So, I mean, this year I'm more into the game. I'm actually more comfortable out on the field this year. So,
excellent. You've had a week to watch film and to run against scout defense on Bentonville. Mm-hmm. What have you seen there? What's the takeaway for your practices so far this week?
Well, Bentonville's defense, they're probably going to be one of the quickest defenses we'll face throughout conference. We compare them a lot to Rockhurst, who we previously beat. Their corners, I mean, we noticed on film that when they're up close, I mean, we work little press drills and stuff like that, when they're up close on us, we'll be able to get past them really quick. And I mean, so far as their secondary is actually really fluent with Logan Darby or Tyrone Mahone or Kerry Collier. But I know these guys, so I know that, I mean, we'll do whatever we can to just get past them in the offensive game.
Excellent. Trey, thanks for coming on the show.
All right, thank you.
Good luck tonight.
All right, thank you.
All right, let's get another quick commercial break. When we come back, we will have Coach Fimple here to talk a little bit about the defense side of the ball with us. Don't change the channel. Wildcat Sports Network will be right back.
Do you need new tires? Do you want a price match guarantee? Do you want to wait in a newly renovated waiting room? Do you want tire services at any time with no appointment? Then Tire Tracks is the place for you. With our price match guarantee and the largest inventory of new and used tires in the area, we have tires for every budget. Tire Tracks, Northwest Arkansas's largest independent tire dealer.
Welcome home to Lindsay Living.
affordable rates, available on-site management, attitudes of service, and amenities unmatched make residents love where they live and play. From value-packed basic apartments to resort-style living on golf courses, we manage options to fit your needs and wants. Apply online at lindsaymanagement.com for locations throughout Arkansas and in surrounding states.
Welcome back. Here with us now is Coach Fimple, whose first team defense has given up just 13 points in the last 4 weeks. Coach, welcome to the show.
Appreciate it.
Coach, give us a little bit about your history and what you've done before coming to Har-Ber.
Okay, starting off, it's been several places, but I actually started in El Dorado, Arkansas under Scooter Register. That was a while back. After that, I traveled to Fort Smith Southside. I was there with Jeff Williams, who was my roommate in college. When I graduated from Henderson, we ended up hooking up down at El Dorado. I left there and went to Fayetteville, and then from Fayetteville, I moved over to Har-Ber. And I've been a defensive coordinator now, let's see, I'm going on year 20, so 18 years.
Wow. Yeah. All right. Tell me a little bit about your responsibilities here at Har-Ber.
Well, I'm the associate head coach, which allows me to I run a couple practices, especially in the afternoons, just with the special teams and things like that. Do a lot of stuff for Chris that the duties that he doesn't have time for when he's speaking, things like that. And then I'm the defensive coordinator along with Coach Travis Moreland. We kind of do it together, and then really the whole group that I have is a great knowledge base that I have in my staff that we put the plan together ourselves, and work it from there.
Tell me a little bit, if you could, in one sentence, describe your defensive philosophy.
Oh, it's play hard. I think these next guys that will come up here, even the other one that plays on offense, will tell you that I'm a pretty intense guy. I was raised that way in Alma, played under a guy named Frankie Vines that a lot of people know about, and that's the only way I know to do it. When you line up, that you play hard. My philosophy is built off of tackling and turnovers, the things that you have to play defense. And Val and these guys that you talk to throughout the year, I think they'll tell you, we started tackling in January of last year. We started putting in our new system and working it from there. And then the little things that, a lot of people say, okay, scheme-wise, we're going to do this. But it all comes down to those base, blocks that you can incorporate into those kids. And they, our kids have done a really good job. That first stat you saw with 13 points, that's the kids. I think they've bought into it. This bunch here is a very solid bunch. They're great kids to work with. They've done everything we've asked them to do. And it makes it fun as a coach to have those kids like that.
Speaking of teamwork, we had Ashland brothers on the field to take a personal look with our coach's spotlight. Ashland, take it away.
Har-Ber High School football. And this year, the team's success is not only built on the offensive scoring, but on the defensive foundation.
Really just a tackling, kind of a philosophy I've had over the years. Nothing different than most defensive coordinators. We've just tried to be a lot better at tackling, getting turnovers during the football game, a bond between the guys, the understanding of doing their own job. Everything will work out if you do your job. Really nothing that anybody hadn't done before. We've just tried to build it through, during the summer, going down to Hoover and Auburn and all that. So I hope we've worked on it real well.
The success on the field has not only impacted the players throughout the game, but also off the field, as well as his passion shows through.
He's extremely energetic. He loves working with the kids. You can see the passion in his eyes when he's out on the field, and I think we just feed off of that as a defense, and that's how we've been so successful. He gives us the tools, and we implement them, and we love playing for him.
I think as a Coach Fimple, he provides a lot of experience, a lot of he's been to a lot of state championships, he's been on a lot of great teams. So I think just having him as a defensive coordinator, he has the mindset, and he knows what we need to be a great team.
Throughout his success, he stays humble as a coach and attributes the victories through a true meaning of teamwork.
You can see how, again, the philosophy that we've worked on, and I have a great staff. Those guys work extremely hard. I think we're all on the same page, and I think it's kind of bled off into the kids. I think the kids believe in it. They've done really well with it. They understand their job, their roles that they have, and sometimes it might be to get blocked where another guy makes the play, and that's part of it. And you can see them. It's fun to watch them grow. But, when we started out against Webb City, we had some mistakes. We grew from that the next week, and we're continuing to grow. Are we where we need to be yet? Probably not, but we're still working at it real hard, and I think that's a sign of how good of kids we have.
13 points in the past 4 weeks. Those are the numbers of his success and his players' passion as we approach the midway part of the season. One thing for sure, we can only get better with time. For WCSN, I'm Ashlyn Grace Brothers.
Thanks, Ashlyn. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we'll have David Val with us. Stay right there. You're watching the Wildcat Sports Network.
We came to Arvest Bank to see what makes it different.
They took the time to get to know us personally.
They're like my financial counselors through all of this.
I was able to call her anytime I needed.
I enjoy them and I love them and they're like family to me.
You can't get through the door without somebody saying hello. I've tried.
They made me feel at home.
Like a house you walk into and you feel like you can put your feet up on the furniture.
Have you ever actually put your feet up on the furniture?
No, I haven't.
Arvest Bank, our customers say it best.
Hi, I'm Susie Everett. Here at Everett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, family-owned, customer-friendly is more than just a slogan. We're dedicated to giving you the best car buying experience you've ever had. We really do want what's best for our customers, and it shows in everything we do. So come see us for a better way to buy Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, the Ram 1500. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Everett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Springdale.
Welcome back. Here with us now is David Val. David, welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
Tell us a little bit about how your season's gone so far this year.
I think this year it's got a lot better compared to last year. Last year, I think I totaled 18 tackles in the season, and this year I've already surpassed that. And I think that this year alone, the reason it's been a better season for me is I've focused more on the weight room and cardio and conditioning. I think that's really helped me with my season, how it's going so far.
Excellent. You've had the whole week to study the scout team, watch film on Bentonville. What's your takeaway there?
As far as Bentonville's offense goes, their main running plays is the inside zone and the pin and pull. And watching the film over Northside versus Bentonville, I think what we can take away from that is coming off the ball against their O-line is going to be huge. They average on the O-line. They're big on the O-line, so they have heavy hands. So coming off on them is going to be important about staying low, staying physical, and just not overthinking the play and just coming off the ball and doing what we do.
Excellent. David, good luck tonight.
Thank you.
You bet. All right, one last word from our sponsors. Up next is Coach Wood to break down Bentonville. Stay tuned. You're watching the Wildcat Sports Network.
Chevrolet has the longest-lasting, most dependable full-size trucks on the road. And at Everett Chevrolet, we think the slogan, "Find New Roads," couldn't be more at home than in beautiful Northwest Arkansas. The 2015 Silverado has the most fuel-efficient gas V8 ever, perfect for those long drives in the country. And for those new roads that are hard to find, Silverado's rugged power will pull you through. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Everett Chevrolet in Springdale.
We came to Arvest Bank to see what makes it different.
I'm from the old school. I believe in people talking to people.
When they say have a good day, I think they actually mean it.
Yeah, there's a smile every time you come in.
I walk in, I feel like a king rather than a pauper.
It doesn't matter if you deposit $1 or $1 million.
They treat everybody the same.
The customer comes first, and I like that.
They always go above and beyond to take care of us.
I didn't rehearse this. This is coming from right here.
Arvest Bank, our customers say it best.
Here we go. We are only a few minutes away from kickoff, but back with us now is Coach Wood to help us break down the Tigers. Coach, you've watched film, you've studied them. What's your takeaway from the Bentonville Tigers?
Well, it's a typical Bentonville Tiger football team. I think, Coach Grant and that staff's done a fantastic job. Bentonville knows who they are. They have an identity. Defensively, they base out of that 3 front. They're sound. Their inside linebackers are really good, play downhill. Got a really sound secondary, tries to keep everything in front of you. They're a pressure defense, so if you get a play and you start getting a little positive, they're going to bring pressure, try to disrupt that series. Their kicking game's always sound. Offensively, Casey Ford's a winner. He's got state championships. He's got rings on his finger, a couple of them in football, to help take the baseball team to the state championship game, so the kid knows how to win. Coach Dannenauer, the offensive line, OC, does a fantastic job on their zone scheme. They're adding a little bit more to what they're doing, trying to get the ball out of there because Casey can make all the throws. But it's a typical Bentonville team. They're good at what they do. I know they're winning with a lot of tradition right now and execution. And for us to, be a good ball club, we're going to have to do little things right.
Who are some people on the defensive side that you've kind of got on your radar that you're looking out for?
Well, I'm not a big guy that studies names. I study more of the positional stuff, but like both inside linebackers are tremendous talents. Very aggressive. They play downfield. Of course, Mahone, a kid that lived in Springdale and moved up to Bentonville, is one of their top talents at the corner position. And so we've known him since he was an 8th grader just because he was in the system, and just a tremendous talent coming back off that ACL in the state championship last year. He's a game changer. You got to be aware of him at all times. Their defensive front, the front three are always pretty good hands.
Excellent. What are the keys to tonight's game, Coach?
Well, I think the biggest keys, and traditionally with playing Bentonville, is field position. What Bentonville does to you is they keep you pinned, and that means they keep you on your side of the ball. They don't ever get the field flipped, and so they always have a short distance to go as an offense, and then they quick strike with big plays over the top. So it's very important for us not to get 3 and outs, win the field position. Field position is going to be everything, and it's going to come down to turnovers. Whoever wins the turnover battle is going to win this football game.
Excellent, Coach.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
That's all the time we have for tonight's show. Stay tuned at halftime for our halftime show. For Superintendent Dr. Jim Rollins and Athletic Director Wayne Stellick, I'm Donald Tucker. Stay tuned. Up next is Kickoff. We'll see you next time. You're watching the Wildcat Sports Network.
The Youth Bridge Bully Buster program is this program that we are pushing through the schools to make increase awareness of bullying in the schools, not just for those who are bullied, but for the bullies. The Youth Bridge Bully Buster program is symbolized in these orange wristbands, and kids can wear them proudly and say that they're going to stand up to bullies, and they're going to seek assistance, they're going to seek help, they're going to talk to parents and their teachers to let them know that either they're being victimized by bullies or their friends are being victimized by bullies. These kids are wanting to go to school to get an education. They want to hang out with their friends, and they want to feel safe when they go to school. And when they're having challenges with their peers, we need to make sure that not only are the kids who are victims of bullying taken care of, but also to try to see what things that the bullies are needing as far as like social skills training or mentoring or any kind of help or understanding as to what's going on with them. Because sometimes it's not that they have an innate meanness to them. And one of the things that we have to do is go in, and sometimes it's a family intervention, and we can meet with the moms and the dads or the guardians or anybody else who's interacting with the kid who is having these challenging behaviors, and just put some things in place and to redirect them in order so they can be successful in the community and in the schools. YouthBridge has clinicians on staff that are experts in working with families that have these types of challenges, from mental health issues to mental illness issues. We have licensed professional counselors, we have mental health paraprofessionals, case managers, drug counselors that can get involved in a child's life to try to improve their situation. And if the family is needing more eyes and ears to be advocates for them, then YouthBridge has a team that can do that. And so with the YouthBridge Bully Buster campaign, we hope to bring awareness and action to bullying in our school systems.
Welcome, Wildcat Nation. On behalf of Superintendent Dr. Jim Rollins and Athletic Directors Wayne Stellick, welcome to tonight's broadcast from Bentonville, Arkansas at Bentonville Tiger Stadium, where the Har-Ber Wildcats play the Bentonville Tigers. My name is Donald Tucker, your voice of the Wildcats.
And my name is Blake Tucker. Tonight we get to see two 7A West heavy hitters ranked by Hooten's number 2 and number 3 in the country, talking about Bentonville and Har-Ber respectively. Two very pass-heavy offenses, very good. Bentonville a little more so than Har-Ber. Both sides of the offense are going to be phenomenal tonight. The decider of this game is really going to come down to the defense. But as we wait on the teams to run out on the field tonight, focus on what makes this game great. Bentonville and Har-Ber have a kind of a back and forth history with each other. These teams hate each other, and so it's kind of like when Har-Ber plays Southside. For the Har-Ber fans that are familiar, they always get up for this game. Har-Ber hates losing to Bentonville almost more than Bentonville hates losing to Har-Ber, which Bentonville's only lost to Har-Ber 2 times in the last 10 outings. So Har-Ber's got their work cut out for them this year, especially with the passing attack of Bentonville, and how they respond to that is yet to be seen in the first quarter.
Excellent. Well, we've got 2 minutes, 22 seconds left before kickoff. We have both teams coming onto the field, both of them undefeated in conference play so far this year. Bentonville undefeated for the whole year. How does that play into tonight's game, Blake?
Well, when you look at the top of the 7A right now, the 7A West, you have Har-Ber, Bentonville, and Fayetteville that are all undefeated in conference play. Of course, Bentonville's 6-0. Har-Ber's coming in 4-1. The key stat to look at, though, is the points to opponents' points. It's through the first two conference games, Bentonville's averaging 2.6 points per opponent's points, and Har-Ber's averaging 4.15, almost doubling that number that Bentonville has there. So Har-Ber's offense-defense combo a little more potent than any of the other conference leaders, and Fayetteville just falling just above Bentonville at 2.82. And so Har-Ber's defense to offense ratio has been optimal for winning football games. When your offense performs and as your defense does it well, it kind of takes the pressure away from making your offense hang 40-50 on opponents. And so if Har-Ber can keep up those numbers through the year, they have a legitimate shot of making a straight run to the state title. This will be, I think, the first conference game where they have a big test of if this offense can perform against a top-rated defense.
So as we wait, 4 seconds left to go on the clock. Basically, the defense is where the stretch is going to be. The talent for tonight's contest is defense-oriented. So how does Har-Ber's defense, being young with 5 sophomores, stack up to Bentonville's defense?
Well, when you look at the top of the Har-Ber defense, you have Jacob Robertson leading the team in tackles with 40 tackles. And in second place is Oliver Nasali. He's got 25 tackles on the season. And so you see basically 2 guys that have really stepped up and said, I'm going to lead the team in tackles, I'm going to set the tone. And you see the rest of the defense really falling into place. When you look at the corners, both corners sophomore, you have a sophomore playing back at safety that really haven't shown their lack of experience so far this year. This will be a very big test for them, playing against a Bentonville Tigers team that's traditionally very good, undefeated on the season. They have a 14-game win streak right now, the longest win streak in the state, and so they are definitely going to be tested tonight. The big thing for these sophomores is to look to guys like Jacob Robertson and Nasali to basically lead them through the season. They need that kind of bonus. They need the extra push to get them going, and when stuff kind of gets off track, and it will this game, they need somebody that's going to be like, hey, it's all right, we'll get them the next play.
Excellent. We're waiting for Bentonville to come on the field. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to get this thing fired off. You're watching the Wildcat Sports Network.
Do you need new tires? Do you want a price match guarantee? Do you want to wait in a newly renovated waiting room? Do you want tire services at any time with no appointment? Then Tire Tracks is the place for you. With our price match guarantee and the largest inventory of new and used tires in the area, we have tires for every budget. Tire Tracks, Northwest Arkansas's largest independent tire dealer.
Chevrolet has the longest-lasting, most dependable full-size trucks on the road. And at Everett Chevrolet, we think the slogan, "Find New Roads," couldn't be more at home than in beautiful Northwest Arkansas. The 2015 Silverado has the most fuel-efficient gas V8 ever, perfect for those long drives in the country. And for those new roads that are hard to find, Silverado's rugged power will pull you through. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Everett Chevrolet in Springdale.
Welcome back to Wildcat Sports Network as we prepare for kickoff for tonight's contest against the Bentonville Tigers. Beautiful night. It's fall football. 65 degrees outside. There's not a place to sit anywhere in this whole stadium.
Packed house, and this is a really big stadium too. In regards to the weather, we had a little bit of rain earlier. We had a cold front move through. It should drop into the 50s by about game time. It's optimal fall weather, like you were saying.
So here we go. We are set for kickoff for tonight's contest, and the kick is up. The kick is deep, and it is going to go out the back of the end zone for a touchback. So Bentonville will get the ball 1st and 10 from their 20 as Har-Ber presents to the gameplay with the defense starting off the game.
Yep, defense is going to get a chance to shine here. Casey Ford for Bentonville, really good quarterback offer from Louisville. Widely considered to be one of the better quarterbacks in the state, and some of his main competition is Fuller Chandler on the other side of the ball. This defense is going to have their hands full containing the speed at receiver and the arm of Casey Ford.
So Bentonville comes to the line of scrimmage, Two split to the left, one to the right. Four drops back, quick pass to the flats. And it's going to be completed. He's going to go out about the 26-yard line. So that's going to bring up second down and about 3.
Yeah, and one thing to note about this Bentonville offense, like I talked about before the game started, they're very pass reliant. They rely on high numbers of throws to their number of runs, and that's why when you look at this quarterback, he's got like 80 completions, 113 attempts. He's rocking like a 70% completion rating.
Trips to the right, throws to the right. It's complete, but it's going to be about a gain for about 2 yards. So it's going to be third down and 1 for the Tigers. Henderson on the tackle. Henderson, one of the rare 3-year starters in the 7A West. 11:29 on the clock as it continues to run. Ball sets on the 29-yard line for Bentonville. Ford back at shotgun, one split left, one split right, a single setback. Hands off up the middle. Over the right-hand side, he's got enough for a first down. He's going to tack on about 5 on top of that.
And really, you see Bentonville's offense here now just feeling out Har-Ber's defense, seeing where the soft spots are. Har-Ber's going to have to start seaming some of those things up because as these coaches kind of expand their play calling into this defense, they'll start catering plays into the defense's soft spots. And so Har-Ber can't present with a lot of those at the beginning of the game, or it's going to make for a long game for them.
Two split to the left, one to the right. Single setback. Looks like a jet sweep around the left-hand side. There's good containment there, and he's going to be dropped down by Nasali. So Nasali tackles them. He's going to get about a 4-yard, looks like about a 3-yard gain. So that's going to bring up second down and 7 for the Tigers. 10:30 on the clock. It continues to run. First possession of the ball game. Trips right for Bentonville. Single setback, quarterback at shotgun. Brings a man in motion to this side of the field. Takes a snap, drops back, looks completely left, and it is incomplete.
Bentonville's offense hitting a little stall here as we get into 3rd and long. Defense started to step up, and you see him covering the out routes a little bit and jumping those underneath passes, getting a little bit of pressure on the quarterback and forcing some bad throws.
Notice on there the Ford had trips to the right. The guy come over on this side of the field, and he never looked on the far side of the field. He's just looking straight at this guy down. So you get the feeling that's where the ball's going regardless.
Yeah, a lot of the play calling you'll see here, especially at the high school level, the coaches will tell the quarterback to single out a receiver, and you'll see them tracking the receiver as these secondary members are not usually good enough to follow his eyes.
So two split to the right. Quarterback, it looks like we have a false start. So that's going to make it a little bit worse on Bentonville.
That'll allow these defensive guys to kind of back up and play the sticks on their coverage. They get a little bit more room to work with, almost a guaranteed passing down for Bentonville. Just get a good solid pass rush from the 3 guys up front, drop into coverage, and don't get burned deep here.
So we have Sam Hall at 91 up on front, Alejandro Ramirez and David Val for the Har-Ber defense. It's trips to the right, single setback, quarterback and shotgun, Ford drops back, throws to the right. It's completed at the line of scrimmage and met immediately for, I don't think he gained maybe a yard on the play.
That's a sophomore Brighton Cook on the tackle, coming up and playing that ball excellent. You saw him drop a little bit to defend the first down line, but as soon as that ball came out, he made a break on the receiver and made a very solid open field tackle there.
So the defensive backfield for Har-Ber starting tonight is Blaze Brothers, number 14, number 6, Peyton Kofer, number 2, Austin Henderson, and number 9, Brighton Cook. And running at linebacker tonight is number 25, Tali Nasali, 26, Oliver Nasali, number 54, Jacob Robertson, and number 7, Noah Hayward. Bentonville punts. The punt will be down about the 26, 25-yard line, 24 as it continues to roll. So it's going to be out for Bentonville's offense. No points on the board. 9 minutes, 18 seconds left to go in the first quarter, and Har-Ber gets the ball for the first time tonight.
Yeah, and very good stand there by the defense. A lot of first down, but this defensive mentality has always been kind of a bend but don't break kind of mentality, and it's worked out well for them this season. Through two conference games, they've only allowed 20 points, 10 points in each of their last two outings. Compare that to Bentonville's 24 and Fayetteville's 40, so I'd say they're doing something right.
So Chandler hands it off to Hannon up the middle, and he's going to get about 7 yards on the carry.
Hannon coming off of Democrat Gazette Player of the Week honors last week at Springdale, where he rushed for 250 plus, he gained 250 plus all-purpose yards.
So Har-Ber comes to the line of scrimmage, two split to the right, one to the left, single setback. That's Hannon behind Chandler. Hannon again up the middle, and he's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Coach Wood very intent here on firing up the run early and really letting Bentonville know that we are going to run it at you. This Har-Ber team is not scared of anyone. They will run it into the mouth of the best team in the country and try to prove that they are tougher than the other guys, and a lot of times they're right.
8:43 to go on the clock. Two split to the right, one split to the left, and we have a single setback, which is Hannon Chandler back at shotgun. Kunkel push to the line of scrimmage. Hannon's going to go in motion away from the camera. He sets, Chandler drops back, throws right, and it is incomplete.
Pass intended for Dalton Duangdara there. Just a little bit overthrown.
It's a rare incomplete pass for Chandler.
And you got to give him a little bit of credit. This is a very big game, and I'm sure it was hyped all week at school and hyped by these coaches. Like I said, these teams hate each other, and so when you put that much load on these players, they're gonna get a little bit more excited and they're gonna play more intense. But for a delicate throw like that you got to give him some credit for overthrowing it.
Hannon up the middle. He's going to get 5 yards on the carry. So that's going to bring up fourth down and about 5. It is third down. Trying to rush him out of here. Har-Ber comes to the line of scrimmage. Two split to the right, one to the far side, and a single setback. Chandler back at shotgun. Takes a snap, hands it to Hannon. Hannon's going to get about 2 yards.
Very similar offensive performance out of both teams for their first series here. Bentonville's defense has given up some ground, and then they shored up when you got to the second set of sticks. Same thing happened with Har-Ber's offense. The next series here is going to be interesting to see how they react to finding the soft spots of both of these defenses.
Looks like the punt team is coming on the field for Har-Ber. So it's 4th down and 3, maybe a long 2. The ball sets on the 42-yard line. There's 7:12 left to go on the clock.
Trey Smith back deep for the punt. Bentonville coaches are pointing at him.
So Har-Ber calls a timeout. We're going to take the timeout with them. You're watching the Wildcats at Bentonville Tiger Stadium on the Wildcat Sports Network.
We came to Arvest Bank to see what makes it different.
It's a community bank that really reaches out to the customers to make them feel special. I feel special every time I come in here.
They want to be involved in the community and want to be part of the community.
They support our university, our athletic department.
They've told us that they could have a fleet of volunteers there to help this year if we needed.
I see them at a lot of our Hispanic community events that we do.
I can't think of another bank in the city that has such a big community presence as Arvest.
Arvest Bank, our customers say it best.
Welcome back to Bentonville Tiger Stadium, where Har-Ber is set to punt. 6:58 on the clock. Trey Smith back in punting duty. Takes a snap, runs to the right, and kicks a beautiful kick downfield. It is going to roll. It's crossing the 5. It's going to roll down to the 2-yard line where it is down. Tremendous field position.
You don't draw punts any better than that. I don't think Bentonville really wanted to return that punt at all. They didn't have anybody deep back there, and just let Trey Smith tee off on it, and beautiful punt. Exactly what you want, even out of an NFL punter.
That is down to the 1-yard line. So great punt coverage by the Wildcats and great field position for the defense to defend against.
Yeah, defenses love being down here, especially this D-line. You can tell these guys just to pin their ears back and go. They're trying to generate as much pressure as possible. Ideally get a safety, but if not, force a bad throw because the coverage is all over the place.
So they're going to run it up the middle. They're going to get about 2 yards on the carry. So they're going to give him 3 yards. It's going to be 2nd down and 7 for the Tigers. Ball sets, looks like about the 4-yard line. 6:20 on the clock. It continues to run. Bentonville in tight, single setback, 2 tight ends and 2 wing backs. Going to hand it off up the middle again. He's going to break it outside. He's got containment, and he's going to be trapped right at the line of scrimmage. I don't even think he got a football.
No, Brighton Cook showing off a little bit of that speed there. Almost broke contained on the outside, but Brighton Cook really breaking into a dead sprint and just stretching that play out, which allowed him to stop it for almost no gain there.
So that's 3rd down and 6 now. He's going to get a Bentonville spot. 5:46 on the clock. It continues to run. Bentonville struggling here with their back pinned against the wall. So they're going to run. They're going to present to the line of scrimmage in a spread formation. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Single setback. 4 back at quarterback or shotgun. Drops back. He's going to look. It's incomplete across the middle. That's going to bring up a punting team. That's 3 and out. That's the kind of defense we're looking for.
Yeah, and that right there, all thanks to Trey Smith's punt, pinning him down on the 1-yard line. It's very hard for an offense. Limits the number of plays that you can call when you have your back against the goal line. You're limited to, like you saw in the first play there, where they ran that QB sneak. Very short developing route, so the quarterback's not spending a lot of time really deep in the end zone with rushers like David Val coming at him and Sam Hall coming at him. And so you see, really, Har-Ber's defense did their job and stepped up, but you see Bentonville really ineffective when they have their back against the wall.
So the Tigers back to punt, snapping deep in the end zone, and it was almost over his head. It's going to be a shallow kick. It's going to look like it's going to roll towards the sideline about the 36-yard line, and that's great field position for the Wildcats.
There's a flag down over on the 10-yard line on the far side of the field over there. We'll wait for the call.
He's pointing at a Wildcat. .5:19 to go in the first quarter. The ball's actually marked about the 36-yard line, and we're waiting for the refs to tell us exactly what's going on down there.
This is one of those calls that they have to make sure that they get right. That kind of change of possession, moving field position in a game that's going to be as tight as this one is crucial.
So personal foul against Nasali. And so they are going to back it up a little bit. And Har-Ber will get the ball on their 49-yard line.
Big change of field position there. You're going from what was the 36-yard line, now they're stepping it back to the 49-yard line. Completely different mindset when you're coming out there as an offense.
Yeah, I did not see the penalty, but we know that Nasali does not need to be personal fouls against a team like this, because any edge Bentonville Tigers get, they're going to take advantage of.
Of course, you never want to see 15-yard penalties, but even 5 yards against a team like Bentonville or a team like Har-Ber makes a lot of difference.
So Blackston motion to the far side of the field. Chandler drops back, looks to the right. He's got a man open, and it's going to be incomplete. Looks like they're looking for the pass interference there.
There was definitely contact made before the pass got there, but I don't think the ref felt that it was early enough to warrant a pass interference penalty.
So that's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Wildcats. 5:13 on the clock as it's stopped from the incomplete pass. Twin split to the left, single to the right. Hannon back is a single setback. Chandler back at shotgun. Blackston comes to this side of the field in motion. He's going to hand it off to Hannon up the middle. Hannon sidesteps a tackler, and he's going to get about 5 yards on the carry.
Hannon's so good in those one cuts. You know, I hesitate to call him a one-cut back because he's really good in the open field as well, but you see him really good in the backfield. He excels at making that first guy miss and turning plays that should be a 1 or 2 yard loss into, like you saw there, a 3 or 4 yard gain. And the difference is he doesn't stop at just one cut. He breaks it to there. He can make another guy miss and take it the distance. You saw him do that at Springdale last week.
So Chandler back at shotgun, drops back. He's got a man downfield. They're going to fire, and it is going to be intercepted. Intercepted for a touchback.
Or Chandler throws deep into double coverage to Trey Smith. Maybe an ill-advised throw, but he was targeting him from the very beginning of that play.
So Bentonville will have the ball, 1st and 10 from the 20.
You see right there just a little bit of the speed of Bentonville secondary. They've always had really fast secondary players in their defense and a few fast wide receivers that have been very difficult to contend with. These are guys that run track in the offseason, really work on their speed, and present it on Friday nights in football.
So spread formation, twin split to the right, a single setback, and one split to the left for Bentonville. They're going to bring a man in motion to the right-hand side of your screen. Ford drops back. He's going to elude, he's going to run, and he's going to be tackled.
And one thing that we haven't seen out of Casey Ford yet for Bentonville is his arm strength. We saw him in warm-ups throwing passes from the 50-yard line well into the end zone, 50-yard pass, 55-yard pass in the air. The Peyton Kofer and Henderson have to be careful not to fall asleep because he has the ability to make them pay with the skinny post or street crowd down the field.
So Hayward on the tackle. We got the Tigers back at line of scrimmage. Going to fake the handoff. And it looks like it's an incomplete pass to the right-hand side. So that's going to bring up 3rd down for the Tigers. Bentonville seems to be struggling a little bit on offense, getting anything going. And I don't know if that's them struggling or the Har-Ber defense just stepping up.
I think it's a little of both. We saw that out of Har-Ber's offense a little bit early on in the year, and they kind of shored that up and started to hit a rhythm. I think both of these offenses still early on are trying to find their rhythm. They're still trying to feel out the other defense and see where they can be effective. And I don't think either one has kind of fallen into that rhythm, that consistency yet.
So Bentonville comes to the line of scrimmage, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Ford back at shotgun. And it looks like we're going to have a Bentonville timeout. So we're going to take that timeout with them. You're watching the Wildcats on the Wildcat Sports Network.
Olive Garden's Buy One, Take One is back, but not for long. Starting at $12.99. Join us tonight for your choice of irresistible entrees, like rich and creamy smoked mozzarella chicken bursting with Italian cheese and sun-dried tomatoes, plus unlimited garden salad and warm breadsticks. Then take home another entree free, like fettuccine Alfredo. It's 2 delicious nights of togetherness for one low price. Buy one, take one, starting at $12.99. Olive Garden, we're all family here. Now order Olive Garden to go online.
Welcome back to Bentonville Tiger Stadium, where the score is 0-0. The Tigers, 3rd down and about 6. Struggling a little bit on the offensive side of the ball tonight so far. It's still early.
Yeah, and they just called the timeout there in the middle of a series. Look for something deep here, like I was talking about earlier. Look at them to draw something up on the sideline, try to get the ball to one of their speedy receivers. I would expect some kind of trick play here or a deep pass down the field out of Casey Ford.
So Bentonville, 2 split to the right, 1 to the left. Ford back at shotgun, drops back. Screen pass is tipped. It is completed, and he's going to be tackled just enough for a 1st down, it looks like.
Pass was tipped, I believe, by David Vowell, getting his hand up, but not enough on it to deviate the course of the ball from the receiver.
3 minutes, 42 seconds left to go in the first quarter. It's 1st and 10 for Bentonville. The ball sits on the 31-yard line.
And you'll see with a play like that, I think there's a lot of deflation from this defense of giving up a 3rd down conversion there. But that's going to happen in big games like this. The key is to rally from it.
Ford back at shotgun, twin to the right, single to the left, single setback. Takes a snap, fakes the handoff, throws it down to the flat here on the left-hand side. It's going to be completed for about 3 yards.
Good press coverage up there by Chase Anderson, the linebacker, making sure there was no room to go for that receiver.
3:07 left to go in the first quarter as it continues to draw down to a conclusion. It's 2nd down and 8 for the Tigers. Same offensive formation, twin to the right, single to the left. We have a single set back and Ford back at shotgun. Ford drops back. He looks across the middle. He's going to scramble to the right. And he's going to be dropped for a big loss, about 6 yards there.
Tully Nasali on the sack. Coming up big and tackling a very large quarterback.
Yeah, Ford is a 6'6", 272 is what the roster says.
It's a little bit of probably bump there as we're reading the Bentonville roster, or the Bentonville program, but that's still a big boy out there.
It's a lot of tackle right there. So 2 minutes, 13 seconds left to go on the clock. It's 3rd down and 12 now for the Tigers after the sack by Nasali. Bentonville showing a different look here. They got twin split to the left now, one to the right, single setback. Ford back at shotgun. Ford's dropping back. He's looking across the middle. He doesn't see anybody. Great coverage, and he's got a guy deep. And then Austin Henderson right there in front of the play. Looks like he's going to get flagged for pass interference.
Very strong reaction from the coaches next to us. There's you got to think that's a ticky-tack call there.
Yeah, there's no way that it was pass interference. He was in between the receiver and the quarterback.
I think this one's got to get waved off.
Apparently, the coaches to the right of us disagree with the call, but it is going to be pass interference against Har-Ber, and that wasn't even close to pass interference.
You really hate seeing stuff like that, too. In big games like this, you have to kind of lay off some of the penalties that are a little closer and just let these guys play football. Penalties like that can decide games that are between two teams as equally matched as these two.
So 1:49 on the clock. Looks like we're going to have a timeout here.
Getting very strong boos from the Har-Ber sideline over there in reaction to that penalty, and I can't say that I disagree with them.
No, I don't disagree at all. That was just absolutely terrible. I mean, we are probably 50 yards from the play, and we can easily see that was not pass interference. So it's 1st and 10 for the Tigers. The ball's on the 44-yard line. Twin to the right, twin to the left. And we got a holding flag, it looks like, down here on the field, as the Bentonville wide receiver did a fantastic job of tackling the Bentonville Tiger, or the Har-Ber.
And see, I'm going to take the opposite side there, because I was watching that block because I was impressed by how good it was. I think he followed the textbook form of keeping his hands inside of the front side of his shoulder pads and pushing them. I think a little bit of a payback there for the penalty yards they just gave Bentonville on the pass interference over here. It looked to me from this angle like a clean block, but I think we're going to defer to the referees.
So it's going to be 1st down. They're going to back the Tigers up about 10 yards here. About 15 yards.
And I think we have to keep in mind as commentators that we are about 50 yards away from the play, and these referees are right on top of it. They have the best seats of anybody in the house, and so if anybody's qualified to call it, it's these guys.
Even if it's incorrect.
Yep.
1 minute, 33 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Going to hand it off over the left-hand side, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage. Going to get about 5 yards on the carry. Tackled by Robertson.
Robertson came up there and filled that hole perfectly. He made sure that there was no room developing in that gap.
So that's going to bring up 2nd down and about 20 for Bentonville. 1:10 on the clock left to go in the first quarter.
Har-Ber's got a lot of field to defend before those sticks. It's going to be difficult not to let Bentonville's offense chip away at this.
So Ford drops back, rolls to the right. He's going to throw to the flat. He's got a man open. He's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage. He's going to be pushed out of bounds about the 44-yard line. So it's going to be fourth down, third down and 10.
I think that right there is a veteran throw, a smart throw by Casey Ford. Not trying to get all the way to the first down, just getting enough that it makes it a manageable third down.
So we have trips to the short side of the field here. A single setback, Ford back at shotgun. Drops back, looks across the middle. He's got a guy open. It's completed. And that's going to be enough for a first down plus about 10 more yards.
Guy comes open in the middle of the field there. Good thing Peyton Kofer was behind the play so he could come up and make the tackle. When you see those routes over the middle of the field where they're wide open, it can be dangerous because those slot receivers are very dangerous to control in open space.
So Bentonville shows with trips to the left, single setback, Ford back at shotgun. He's going to fake the handoff, throw out here to the flat. He's going to be met for about a 5-yard gain.
Got a little help there by Sam Hall coming in to finish the tackle, but that's what you love to see. You love to see defensive ends, nose guards, middle linebackers coming in and finishing a play on the outside from the inside. It's showing good flow, good hustle out of this defense. It shows you they really want to be here.
So that's second down and a long 4. 7 seconds left, 6 seconds. I don't believe we're going to get the play off before the end of the first quarter. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break while these guys line up. We'll be back right after this. You're watching the Wildcat Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Susie Everett with Everett Chevrolet. You've heard me say we have a better way to buy your new Chevy. If you've not been here to find out what that means, I want to invite you to come see us. You'll love the way we do business. And you can shop our great selection of the North American Truck of the Year, the Chevy Silverado, with the best V8 fuel economy of any full-size truck. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Everett Chevrolet in Springdale, I-49 at Elm Springs Road.
Welcome back to Bentonville Tiger Stadium in Bentonville, Arkansas. Beautiful fall football night here in Northwest Arkansas. Score 0-0. Into the first quarter, the beginning of the second quarter. And is this how we expected the first part of the game to go, Blake?
Well, it's not how I expected it. If you look at some of the Gazette writers and the official Gazette prediction, I think they predicted in the 30s and 20s for 30s for Bentonville and 20s for Har-Ber. And so they expected a little bit more offense. I think I expected a little bit more offense as well. 0-0, I would not have called that coming into this. Two very high-powered offenses, but so far in the first quarter, we've seen defenses up to the task of stepping up and handling them.
So Bentonville comes to the line of scrimmage. One split to the left, twin split to the right. They're stacked. Single setback. He's going to fake the handoff. He's going to look to the right. He's got a man coming across the middle, and it is going to be short as he is leveled just as he releases the ball. It looks like Sam Hall handing out owies in the offensive backfield tonight.
Yeah, Sam Hall, David Val, Ramirez, all of these guys are getting great pressure on the quarterback. They're bringing 3 guys and still putting pressure through 5 offensive linemen. It really says something when all 3 of your guys are getting past their blocks, block shedding, and making this Division I quarterback, make bad throws.
Twin split to the right, single to the left, single setback, forward back at shotgun. He's going to hand off up the middle, and he's going to be met. Oh, he's going to bounce to the outside. Looks like he might have enough for a first down. Cook on the tackle there.
They are signaling for a first down here.
So it's going to be first down for the Tigers. The ball sets on the 25-yard line.
Bentonville's offense is starting to fall into that rhythm that I talked about a little earlier. They're moving the sticks consistently down almost into the red zone here. It's going to be a difficult task to knock them off of their rhythm for Har-Ber's defense.
One split to the left, twin to the right. They're stacked. Hands off up the middle. And he's very elusive. He's going to get about 6 yards on the carry. 11 minutes and 17 seconds. Second down and 4, maybe a long 4. Bentonville in the red zone for the first time tonight.
Yep, just chipping away, kind of playing off of Har-Ber style, where they'll run it consistently and effectively. And if you're Har-Ber, that's not what you want to see start to happen.
So 2 wing backs, single setback. Hands it off to the sweep around the right-hand side. He's got a lot of defenders there, and I think everybody on defense was there except for 2 players. But they got enough for a first down. Kofer on the tackle. He's at the bottom of the pile there. So it's going to bring up first down and 10. The ball is going to be on the 13-yard line.
Ramirez calling for a sub. That'll bring in Parker Baugh.
So twin stack to the left, twin stack to the right, single setback, forward back at shotgun. He's going to take the ball, look to the right, and he's going to throw it into the ground. Looks like he hit his own fullback.
Yeah, just held on to it a little bit too long.
So that's going to bring up second down and 10 for the Tigers. 10:31 left to go in the first half. Still 0-0 here at Tiger Stadium.
Keep in mind it's 2nd and 10 right now, and they're 13 yards away from the goal line, so they can still get a first down on a fresh set of downs.
Trips to the left, single setback, forward back at shotgun. It's like they're going to quarterback keep it up the middle. And he is going to get enough for a first down.
A little bit of that halfback read there where the quarterback will put the ball in the belly of the receiver and keep his eyes on the defensive end, and whichever way the defensive end bites, if the defensive end bites on the running back, the quarterback will keep it, take it outside or up the middle. They can roll with it either way, but the key there is the end, and the quarterback read it perfectly. Casey Ford doing an excellent job on that play.
Single setback, 2 wing backs, 2 tight ends. They're at the 3-yard line. First down, they're going to quick sweep it, and he's going to fumble the ball. It looks like he might have got it back.
Difficult to tell here.
It's going to bring up second down for the Tigers. Second down now and 7.
That would have been a major miscue for this Bentonville offense, who has been putting it together fairly well in this drive.
9:47 on the clock. It continues to drop.
We're still at 0-0. 9:40 in the second quarter.
Defensive battle here at Tiger Stadium. Bentonville comes to the line of scrimmage, trips to the right. Single setback, forward back at shotgun. Points to the right, takes a snap, hands off to the left, and he's met immediately.
He is leveled there by a linebacker. I believe that's Nasali.
Nasali coming in, issuing owies.
Tali Nasali just lowered the boom on that running back, made him regret cutting back in the inside there after contain was met.
It's going to be 3rd down and 5 for the Tigers. Big down here for the Wildcats.
Yep, this is crunch time right here, which if you play on defense, this is what you live for. You have your back against the wall now, and you get to prove to everyone how tough you are.
8 minutes, 53 on the clock, 0-0. Ball's on the 5-yard line. It's 3rd down. The Tigers are split to the right, split to the left, single setback, and it looks like we're going to call timeout. So we have a timeout here at Tiger Stadium. We're going to take a timeout with them. You're watching Wildcat Football on the Wildcat Sports Network.
First Security is here. Only here. So that means we're here, here, and here. Even here. And definitely here. Because here is where we want to be. For you. First Security Bank. Only in Arkansas.
Welcome back to Bentonville Tiger Stadium in Bentonville, Arkansas, where it's the middle of the second quarter. Score still 0-0. 8 minutes, 46 seconds left to go in the first half. The Tigers have the ball. They have its 3rd down and 5. They're on the ball's on the 5-yard line, so it's score or
kick field goal. Absolutely.
Tigers come to the line of scrimmage. 1 split to the right, 1 to the left, single setback, forward back at shotgun. Ford's going to take the snap. He's going to drop back. He's going to look to the right. He's going to get some pressure. He rolls to the right, and he's going to be tackled for a loss of about 5, maybe 4 yards. So that's going to bring up 4th down and about 9 for the Tigers, and you can expect to see the field goal unit come on the field.
You know, and Casey Ford's not the best at moving, but I am surprised how well he moves for being 6'6", 270 pounds. He can stretch plays and create opportunities for himself, but the speed of Har-Ber's defense is just a little bit too much for him to handle right there.
Very athletic defense, especially for the 7A West, Har-Ber. So with 8:35 on the clock, it's 4th down and 9. Bentonville shows up with the field goal unit. Ball's going to be placed about the 15-yard line. It's a 25-yard kick. The kick is up. The kick is no good. Go!
He's returning it.
He's gone. He's off to the races. Har-Ber's grabbing.
He's going to take it.
He's going downfield, baby. He's all the way downfield. Here he goes on his horse, grabbing gears.
Peyton Har-Ber. Gone.
Woo! To all the way down, 99 yards, no laundry on the field. Touchdown Wildcats.
Peyton Kofer takes the horrible kick by Bentonville's kicker and makes Bentonville pay dearly with a Har-Ber touchdown. Unbelievable run by the sophomore.
Not a horrible kick. It had plenty of hang time. It was just 2 yards long.
I don't think anybody thought the kick could be returned. Peyton Kofer stood there for a second with the football.
They talked about it. They decided, let's take off and run with it. Oh, here, whistle. And you got a slap on the hiney, and away he went.
Well, if anybody was not watching the play, looking over at Har-Ber's sidelines, all of Har-Ber's coaches were going crazy, pointing at the other end zone, saying, run with it.
He jumps on his horse, starts to whipping, and he's down the field 99 yards.
Unbelievable. You don't get to see things like that very many times in a season.
So we have 6 Bentonville coaches on the field talking to the referee.
I would be upset if I was a Bentonville coach as well.
Absolutely. I think 4 of the fans came on the field. 8 minutes, 15 seconds left to go in the half, and Har-Ber scores.
Just see a few phones out in front of us on the AAA website trying to find the rule book for high school football. There's not much you can do in a situation like that. You can't coach for it because how are you going to tell their players that you're going to see that in a game?
Yeah, did they call that a field goal return unit? What happens there?
I mean, very reminiscent of Alabama missing the field goal and Auburn taking it back to win the Iron Bowl a few years ago.
So Har-Ber comes to the line of scrimmage. Har-Ber up to kick. Kick is up. The kick is good. Har-Ber on the points with 7 with 8 minutes, 15 seconds left to go in the half. Har-Ber strikes first with a 99-yard field goal return.
Yeah, that's a 10-point swing right there. You go from the possibility of Bentonville being up 3 points to now Har-Ber up 7. Just unbelievable swing of momentum here. Har-Ber gets on the board first, and special teams makes it happen. During this change of possession, though, the Wildcat Sports Network would like to thank Catering Unlimited and Tire Tracks for donating the audio equipment to make this broadcast possible.
So 8:15 left to go in the half. Har-Ber 7, Bentonville Tigers 0. The game just got a lot more excited.
Yeah, you could feel, we're sitting on the Bentonville side over here, and so you felt the energy just get sucked out of this side of the stadium as he started taking it back, and he beat the last man down around the 25-yard line over there, and they knew it was going to be a touchdown. This entire side of the stadium went dead quiet, and we just heard a roar from the opposing side of the stadium.
The Wildcat side of the stadium.
Yeah.
So Har-Ber kicking from the 40-yard line. 8:15 left to go in the half.
And you see the energy these Har-Ber players have now bouncing around on special teams. We're going to get to see the same energy out of their defense again, even though they're tired, I'd imagine.
So the Wildcats kick. The kick is up. The kick is deep. It's going to go right to the 2-yard line. He's going to fumble it around on the 5. The ball's on the ground. Har-Ber picks it up.
Oh, my goodness.
Bentonville fumbles the ball on the kick return. Har-Ber picks it up and is down on the 5-yard line.
Number 4, Brady Patrick on the recovery there. 2 back-to-back special team plays that have set Har-Ber up now to go by 14 points in this game.
Allegedly 14 points. It's still
they still have 6 yards to go here, but setting them up with 6 yards to go on 2 back-to-back special team plays, you don't write stories better than this.
Nope. Har-Ber's focus the past few weeks has been on special teams, and Coach Wood has really, emphasized that in practice. Har-Ber special teams came to Bentonville, Arkansas tonight.
They came to play tonight.
Chandler hands it off to Hannon up the middle. Hannon's going to get about 4 yards the hard way. Hannon handing out owies as he's carrying the ball.
And runs like that when you only have 6 yards to go and first down are all you need.
Absolutely. Bentonville's deflated at the moment.
It's going to be very hard to bounce back from that kind of heartbreak.
So, twin to the right, single setback. Chandler hands the ball off to Hannon. Hannon is in for a touchdown, Wildcats! Touchdown for the Har-Ber Wildcats. A little 4-yard run by Luke Hannon.
Luke Hannon showcasing some of his one cut there. Har-Ber up now 13-0 on the Bentonville Tigers with 7:42 left in the second quarter. Unbelievable.
Har-Ber lines up for the extra point. This is the offense, or the Har-Ber offense that we're kind of used to seeing, where they strike fast and strike quick.
And almost ironically, you see here that the offense was responsible for punching it in there, but special teams scored a touchdown and then set them up with 6 yards to go for their second touchdown.
Big special teams.
It's kind of hard as an offense to complain when your special teams is doing that much for you.
Absolutely. So the kick is good. That gives Har-Ber 14 points. Bentonville Tigers 0. 7:42 left to go in the half. This is real football right here.
This is exciting. This is exactly why the stadium is packed tonight. Like I said at the very beginning of this game, when you have two teams that really hate each other and they play so physical when they play each other and the energy just builds over the course of the game, you get exciting things like that, and that's why all of these fans came out tonight. I guarantee you there are fans in these stands tonight that are neither Har-Ber nor Bentonville fans, but they know that when they come to this game, they're going to get to watch excitement.
We've been shouting out the offense, the special teams for Har-Ber, but the defense bowing their neck down there on the goal line, forcing them to, for the field goal that I don't know what happened to it. If it got deflected, it went straight up. I mean, all the way around, there is no weakness here on the Har-Ber team.
Yeah, we've seen guys step up in almost every position on this Har-Ber team.
So Bentonville's going to get the ball, and he's going to take it to the 20. He's going to be tackled.
He's folded in half at the 20-yard line.
Folded in half just before the Christmas season. 7:38 left to go in the half. Bentonville will have the ball 1st and 10 from the 20. I think I would have let that roll out the back of the end zone instead of getting folded in half.
I wait all summer and really the beginning of spring, all summer for football to start. And I was so excited when college football started and NFL started back up again. But this game so far has been one of the most exciting games that I've seen this season, and it's a high school game.
So Bentonville, twin split to the left, one to the right, single setback, forward back at shotgun, going to hand it off. It's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and tackled.
Chase Anderson and David Vowell on the tackle. His running backs are noticeably less peppy than they were 14 points ago.
Right. Yeah, he almost tippy-toed up there. 7:20 left to go in the half here, Bentonville Tiger Stadium.
There's just no energy on this side of the stadium anymore. Ironically, I know it's hard as fans, but when your team's down in there in a hole, you have to get up and try to support your players because they feed off of your energy.
Trips to the left, single setback, and Bentonville, it's like a false start on the Tigers, and it just goes from bad to worse.
Bentonville continues to shoot themselves in the foot here. Just one bad play after the other. In that case, it was before a play, but they're going to have to figure out something if they're going to turn this around.
Second down now, and 15 for the Tigers. 6:56 left to go. Forward back is shotgun. One split to the right, twin to the left, single setback. Forward gets the ball, looks to the right. He's looking for his man deep. And it's completed.
Finally, gives the Bentonville fans something to cheer about here. Excellent pass by Casey Ford, hitting his guy on the dive. Something to put a little life back into the stands.
So that's going to bring up 1st and 10 for the Tigers. The ball's going to be at the 42, the Wildcat 42.
A little bit of clapping now on the Bentonville side, trying to pep up this offense a little bit.
Ford back at shotgun, trips to the left, single setback, hands off is faked, and incomplete pass. That is a forward pass, so it is not a fumble.
It is incomplete. Wouldn't have mattered because the receiver wrapped it up anyway.
So that's 2nd down and 10 for the Tigers. It's hard to catch those blind passes like that when you know there's a Wildcat in your presence because those guys hit and they hit hard.
And you can tell these guys on the outside, specifically the outside linebackers, have been coached to play out quickly to those screen plays that Bentonville likes to run.
Trips to the left, hands off up the middle. Can be tackled by Robertson and Nasali. He's going to be short of the 1st down by about 2 yards.
Interesting 3rd down situation here. Got about 6 minutes left in the 2nd quarter as the clock continues to roll down. 3rd and about 2.5 here. If Bentonville doesn't get it, they're in that kind of no man's land where their kicker doesn't have the range to make it, but it doesn't make sense to punt either.
Trips to the left, single setback. Ford back at shotgun. He's going to hand it off again. He's going to have enough for a 1st down. He's going to tack on about 5 more on top of that. That's going to bring up 1st down for the Tigers.
One thing to note, like I talked about earlier here with Har-Ber's defense, right now they are bending. There's still 0 points on the board for the Bentonville Tigers, so they haven't broken yet. And they can let the Tigers get as many yards as they want to as long as they don't allow those last few yards that generate points. And they've done a phenomenal job at that so far.
Ford back at shotgun, twin to the right. He's going to throw to the right. It's a lateral. He's out to the flats. He's going to be tackled out at the 20-yard line. That's going to be about 6 yards on the completion. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 4 for the Tigers.
Something a little bit impressive here about Bentonville's offense is they've gotten back into their rhythm very quickly. The mark of a good offense is they can take a game where everything is going wrong for them and make it start going right again, and I think Bentonville has started to do that.
Going to hand off around the right-hand side, and he is not going to get any yards at all.
Another 3rd down situation here coming up. David Vowell and Alejandro Ramirez coming in for the Wildcat defensive line, trying to get a little bit bigger bodies in there, a little bit more pressure on a crucial 3rd down here.
Robertson on a tackle there. 5 minutes, 5 seconds to go in the half. Bentonville has the ball on the 19.5-yard line. It is 3rd down and a long 3. Trips to the left, single setback, Ford back at shotgun. He's going to hand it off again to the right-hand side, and he's going to be smashed back at the line of scrimmage. Wrapped up.
I believe that was Ramirez. No, that was David Vowell.
Vowell just pancaking the dude.
Giving a little preview to the next Marvel movie with his Hulk smash.
That was a Hulk smash at the 20 by David Vowell with 4:30 left to go on the clock. It's 4th down and a long 3.
And the kicker will get another chance. I hope Peyton Kofer's ready.
The ball's on the 25-yard line. It's going to be a 35-yard attempt. They're calling timeout. So we're going to take the timeout with them with 4 minutes and 12 seconds left to go in the half. The Wildcats lead 14-0 over the Bentonville Tigers.
Hometown. That word still means something here. It means we're neighbors. We do the right thing. We care about your family. And you deserve the very best every time you walk in the front door. Harps. Hometown fresh.
Welcome back to Bentonville Tiger Stadium in Bentonville, Arkansas, where the Tigers have the ball with the field goal unit on the field for a 35-yard attempt.
I don't know what the defense saw that they didn't like specifically, but a lot of the players were waving at the coaches about something, so maybe wanted to talk it over and make sure Bentonville wasn't trying to run a fake here.
It is 4th down and 3. I think Bentonville just needs to get some points on the board if they're going to go into halftime. Snap is good. The kick is blocked again.
Oh my goodness!
Austin Henderson coming out and giving a ball a high five.
This Bentonville special teams is absolutely falling apart. There's going to be a lot of guys that lose their special team jobs before next week's game. I can guarantee that.
Well, Har-Ber's special teams showed up early and pumped.
Yes, they did. They came to play. They've been doing a phenomenal job at finding the holes in the field goal kicking line, exploiting rules that most of the Bentonville fans don't know about.
There's several fans over here on the Bentonville side that has the AAA dialed in on their phone right now.
Oh, yeah, they're still downloading the rule book because we get no cell reception here.
4 minutes, 8 seconds left to go. Har-Ber leads 14-0 over the Tigers. Blackston motion to the right. Chandler hands it off to Hannon. Hannon's going to weave his way through for about 4 yards.
A shoestring tackle there. Hannon very dangerous in open space. A little surprised we didn't see the formula of right after a big play, Coach Wood coming back to a really deep pass there or something to Blackston or to Trey Smith. Nevertheless, it worked, and they're set up good on their second down.
They are 2nd down and 6, 3:42 on the clock. Twins to the right, single to the left. Hands off to Hannon. Hannon stutter steps and puts 4 or 5 Bentonville Tigers on his back and marches down for about 4 yards.
And I think a lot of this here is Coach Wood trying to burn clock. He does not want to give the ball back to Bentonville with the chance to put points on the board before halftime. Keep in mind, this is a Tiger team that is averaging a lot of points. They're putting up really solid numbers. So they put up 63 points through their first 2 conference games of the season, and there's a very good chance they can go into halftime with 0 points if Har-Ber can stretch this clock.
So Chandler back at shotgun, Hannon back behind him, Kunkel in front, twin to the right, single to the left. Hands off to Hannon. Hannon breaks free. He's got a first down. He's on his horse, and he's off to the races.
Wow.
Tackled down to the 25-yard line, and you do not want to let Hannon outside down deep field.
Explosive run by Luke Hannon there, really outrunning those safeties. The only thing that saved them was their pursuit angle there. That's going to put Har-Ber deep into Bentonville territory with 2 minutes and 53 seconds left in the second quarter.
Har-Ber back in the red zone. You know, that goes to show how much speed Luke Hannon really has. I mean, he's got 2 safeties taking pursuit angles, and he's beating them downfield.
Yeah, when I talk about Luke Hannon being the complete back, he has that breakaway speed that you expect out of some smaller backs, but he also has the size and the power just to run people over. He's very difficult to tackle because you don't know what to prepare for.
So, twin to the left, Blackston motion to the right, Hannon back at shotgun. Hands off to Hannon again. Hannon ducks through, and he's going to get about 2 yards on the play. Luke Hannon putting the Wildcats on his back.
Yep, and like I said here, clock continues to run. We're down under 2 minutes and 34 seconds now in the half. Coach Wood looking to Luke Hannon to hold on to the football and just really run down this clock. Continue to get first downs. If they can get down there and put points on the board, even better. But don't give the ball back to Bentonville's offense.
2 minutes, 20 seconds. Clock continues to click. Twin to the right, single to the left. Trey Smith down here, the short side of the field. Hannon up the middle, no. And that was almost picked off. Pass to the right-hand side.
That would have been a dangerous interception. The only guy who would have had to beat was Fuller Chandler. That could have been going 6 very quickly.
So it's 3rd down and 9 for the Tigers, or for the Wildcats. I'm so flustered here by Luke Hannon's running abilities. 2 minutes, 9 seconds left to go in the half. Chandler back at shotgun, Hannon behind him. Split to the left. Trey Smith. Twin split to the right. Chandler looks to the sideline for confirmation. Takes a snap, hands it off to Hannon up the middle for maybe 2 yards. That's going to bring up 4th down.
Clock's going to continue to roll here. Bentonville has 1 timeout left, which I'm sure they're going to try to save for their offensive series that is to follow, whatever this next play is.
So 4th down and 8 for the Wildcats.
And Har-Ber's going to try for a field goal here.
Field goal unit on the field.
Trey Smith to hold.
It's a 42-yard attempt. Snaps down, the kick is up. It's got plenty of leg.
And
the
it's
kick
good.
is good. 42-yard kick. Good for the Wildcats. That's going to give them 17 points with 1:21 left to go in the first half here at Bentonville Tiger Stadium.
It was Jesus Zizimbo on the kick there. That was a big-time kick.
It's a big-time pronunciation. 1:21 to go. This is Wildcat football right here.
Yeah, unbelievable start to this game. And you saw immediately after that shift in early momentum where the special teams are like, hey, we can make a difference. We can make stuff happen. Back-to-back Peyton Kofer and then Brady Patrick making things happen on special team. And now a kicker coming in and make something happen with a 40-plus yard field goal.
The only person we have not seen yet be instrumental in tonight's contest is the Water guys.
I'm sure you'll get to see them a little bit later.
Everybody else has rose to the occasion here at Tiger Stadium. I mean, there's not a single mechanism in this Wildcat team that has just struggled tonight. Special teams coach would have talked week after week that's kind of a place they really need to focus, and they've really been the pinnacle tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I struggle to think of another game where special teams have played such an integral part in momentum in the first half. You see very big special team plays like in college football games towards like the fourth quarter where everything's on the line. You'll see blocked field goals and things like that. But special teams showing up big here and giving Har-Ber a 17-point advantage, really.
So they're kicking off from the 40-yard line. The kick is up. It is high. It's going to be fielded about the 6-yard line. And he's going to be dropped about the 26-yard line. So the Tigers will have the ball 1st and 10 from the 26 with 1:18 left to go in the half. Blake, how about this Har-Ber defense? 5 sophomores starting in the 7A West, playing all of them like 3-year starters.
Like I said earlier, for this defense, it's bend but not break. They've given up long drives only to stand tall when it mattered down inside the goal line and then let the special teams take over, which have obviously, like we've been talking about, performed phenomenally well, keeping them off the board entirely.
1:18 left to go. Bentonville twins to the left, single to the right. Forward backs, looks to the right. He's got some pressure, and it's going to be incomplete. Great coverage by Blaze Brothers.
1:13 left here at the half. Bentonville's got a lot of field to cover with only 1 timeout left. We're probably going to see a lot of those out routes. They might take a couple shots down the field. But I don't know how good their kicking game is yet because we haven't got an opportunity to see it. So I don't know what their line to meet is for their kicker to consistently hit field goals.
Well, it's got to be inside of 2 yards because the first one was a 5-second hang time and only went 2 yards. So twin split to the left, single setback, forward back, hands off up the middle. He's going to break it for about 12 yards.
A little bit of that reverse mentality coming into play there. Har-Ber's expecting either an out pass or a deep pass, and so hand it off and let your guy take a chunk of yards away. Kind of the opposite of what's expected, and so ironically those plays are successful a lot.
1st and 10, ball's on the 39-yard line. There's 1:04. It continues to drop. Play will snap with under a minute. Ford drops back, and it's going to be completed for about a 7-yard gain.
There's one of those passes towards the sideline like I was talking about. They're trying to conserve that clock there while moving the ball down the field. One thing these sophomore corners have to keep in mind, though, is it's almost okay to let them have those outside routes underneath. You can't let them do an out and up, get burned deep, and then come away with 7 points right before halftime.
Bentonville comes to the line of scrimmage. Twin to the right, single set back, single to the left. Ford drops back for the pass. He's going to throw incomplete, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Receiver there for
Bentonville. 3rd down.
Yeah, the receiver there for Bentonville working back towards the middle of the field a bit since he was covered up. Casey Ford just misjudged how quickly he was moving back towards the middle of the field.
53 seconds left to go on the clock. It's 3rd down and 2 for the Tigers. The ball sets on the 47-yard line.
And if you're Bentonville here with how well Har-Ber special teams have been playing, you got to be concerned about giving them the ball back or even getting into a 4th down situation for that matter.
Twin to the right, single setback, 1 to the left. It's going to hand it off around the right-hand side, and he scrambled, and he got enough for a 1st down there.
Moving the ball across the sticks. That's really all they need at this point. I don't know, like I said, talking about earlier, I don't know how close they need to be for their kicker to hit. I don't know what kind of leg strength he has, but they're getting into that area. they're getting into that area of the field where it starts to become feasible for kickers in the 7A to be able to hit.
1st and 10, the ball's right on the 50-yard line. Twin to the left, single setback, forward back at shotgun. Looks like we got a false start on Bentonville.
And that false start stopped the clock. We're now at 39 seconds left. It's not what Bentonville needed here when they're trying to get into some kind of field goal range.
So it's 1st and 15 for the Tigers. Ball sets on the 45-yard line. 39 seconds left on the clock. Wildcats lead 17-0 over the Bentonville Tigers. Twin to the left, single setback, forward drops back. He's going to scramble to the right-hand side or left-hand side, and it is completed. He might score, and they do score.
Oh no, Ramirez is down on the far 40. That would be very bad for Har-Ber's defensive line.
So with 29 seconds left to go in the half, Bentonville scores. We've got a referee timeout for an injury. We're going to take a quick commercial break. You're watching Wildcat football on the Wildcat.
This is Jack. And this
I am starving!
is Jack's appetite. It's never satisfied.
I'm hungry. Seriously, dude? What?
Then Jack's mom started serving Tyson Anytizer snacks. With all white meat and lots of protein, they're the only snacks that make Jack's appetite disappear. Tyson Anytizer snacks. Consider snacking solved.
Do you need new tires? Do you want a price match guarantee? Do you want to wait in a newly renovated waiting room? Do you want tire services at any time with no appointment? Then Tire Tracks is the place for you. With our price match guarantee and the largest inventory of new and used tires in the area, we have tires for every budget. Tire Tracks, Northwest Arkansas's largest independent tire dealer.
Welcome back to Bentonville Tiger Stadium, Bentonville, Arkansas, where the Wildcats are leading 17-6 after a Bentonville touchdown late in the half. 29 seconds left to go on the clock as Bentonville lines up for the extra point. Not a lot of confidence in the Bentonville field goal team. Last two times did not go as planned for the Tigers. Snap is up, and the kick is up, and the kick is good. And there's a flag on the play.
It was after the kick went through the uprights. Usually not good. Looks like they're going to call a personal foul here, which I believe will be enforced on the kickoff.
The referee's down there on the field discussing it. Personal foul against Har-Ber.
It's against Robertson, I believe.
Not a lot of patience on Coach Wood's team for personal fouls, especially against a team that gives you no room for error.
Yeah, and like we talked about, tempers are going to run hot in a game like this, but still no excuse for giving away 2 personal foul penalties in the first half.
.29 seconds left to go in the first half. Tigers 7, the Bentonville or the Har-Ber Wildcats 17.
Bentonville's going to get the opportunity here to kick off from the Har-Ber 45-yard line after that 15-yard penalty. No problem with them going for an onside kick here.
Looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. So Bentonville huddled over the ball. Looks like they're going to break into regular kickoff formation. Har-Ber not buying it. They are in onside kick return.
Got the hands team on the field. He can still kick it onside from this formation.
And he's going to kick a pooch kick up in the corner of the end zone, and that's going to be out for a touchback.
Har-Ber's going to get the ball on the 20-yard line with 29 seconds left. With a 10-point lead, it's hard to think that Coach Wood's going to risk anything down the field here. On the flip side, we might see something deep.
Yeah, as you said that, I looked over at you. I'm thinking that's exactly what he's going to do. He's got 29 seconds left. This is Chris Wood we're talking about.
Trey Smith on the season, one of the favorite targets, 360 yards on 25 receptions. Obviously one of the favorites for those deep routes.
He split down to the short side of the field here. Hannon's back and Chandler's under center. So he's going to down it.
They're just going to take a knee.
And let this roll into halftime. So we're going to kick it off to halftime here at the end of the first half. Har-Ber Wildcats 17, Bentonville Tigers 7. Dramatic first half, Blake.
Yeah, and when we come back from a little bit of the band performances and possibly some dance and cheer performances, Coach Scott will be back with us again this week. We're going to talk a little bit about the momentum swings from the first half. We'll talk about some of the defense's performances on both sides and, of course, quarterback performance. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Do you need new tires? Do you want a price match guarantee? Do you want to wait in a newly renovated waiting room? Do you want tire services at any time with no appointment? Then Tire Tracks is the place for you. With our price match guarantee and the largest inventory of new and used tires in the area, we have tires for every budget. Tire Tracks, Northwest Arkansas's largest independent tire dealer.
Chevrolet has the longest lasting, most dependable full-size trucks on the road. And at Everett Chevrolet, we think the slogan, "Find New Roads," couldn't be more at home than in beautiful Northwest Arkansas. The 2015 Silverado has the most fuel-efficient gas V8 ever, perfect for those long drives in the country. And for those new roads that are hard to find, Silverado's rugged power will pull you through. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Everett Chevrolet in Springdale.
Hello, I'm Michael Flowers.
And I'm Joanne Bauer.
YouthBridge is proud to partner with Fox 24 News to help stop bullying.
We want to stop this problem at its source, Michael, and that is why we asked classrooms throughout the region to produce a 20-second video with an anti-bullying message.
Voting will then be open to the public, and the winning classroom will win a $500 gift card presented by YouthBridge. Go to NWA homepage, click on contest, and enter your video on the anti-bullying page.
YouthBridge and Fox 24 News thank area schools for their support in bringing anti-bullying awareness to our area.
The YouthBridge Bully Buster program is this program that we are pushing through the schools to make the increase awareness of bullying in the schools, not just for those who are bullied, but for the bullies. The YouthBridge Bully Buster program is symbolized in these orange wristbands, and kids can wear them proudly and say that they're going to stand up to bullies, and they're going to seek assistance, they're going to seek help, they're going to talk to parents and their teachers to let them know that either they're being victimized by bullies or their friends are being victimized by bullies. These kids are wanting to go to school to get an education. They want to hang out with their friends, and they want to feel safe when they go to school. And when they're having challenges with their peers, we need to make sure that not only are the kids who are victims of bullying taken care of, but also to try to see what things that the bullies are needing as far as like social skills training or mentoring or any kind of help or understanding as to what's going on with them. Because sometimes it's not that they have an innate meanness to them. And one of the things that we have to do is go in, and sometimes it's a family intervention. And we can meet with the moms and the dads or the guardians or anybody else who's interacting with the kid who is having these challenging behaviors, and just put some things in place and to redirect them in order so they can be successful in the community and in the schools. YouthBridge has clinicians on staff that are experts in working with families that have these types of challenges, from mental health issues to mental illness issues. We have licensed professional counselors, we have mental health paraprofessionals, case managers, drug counselors that can get involved in a child's life to try to improve their situation. And if the family is needing more eyes and ears to be advocates for them, then YouthBridge has a team that can do that. And so with the YouthBridge Bully Buster campaign, we hope to bring awareness and action to bullying in our school systems.
If you're looking for a dress or a tuxedo for a special occasion, A Moment to Remember has what you're looking for. We sell quinceanera dresses, prom and homecoming dresses, wedding and bridesmaid dresses, tuxedos, accessories, and more. We're located in Springdale at 1039 South Gutenson Suite I, across from Harps and Dunkin' Donuts. Our store hours are Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. We also take appointments if you need to come in after hours. We have what you need for your moment to remember.
Olive Garden's Buy One, Take One is back,
But not for long.
starting at $12.99. Join us tonight for your choice of irresistible entrees, like rich and creamy smoked mozzarella chicken bursting with Italian cheese and sun-dried tomatoes, plus unlimited garden salad and warm breadsticks. Then take home another entree free, like fettuccine alfredo. It's 2 delicious nights of togetherness for one low price. Buy one, take one, starting at $12.99. Olive Garden, we're all family here. Now order Olive Garden to go online.
Welcome back to Wildcat Stadium, Tiger fans. Tiger Stadium, Wildcat fans. I screwed that one up, I'm sorry. I'm here with Coach Patrick Scott, and we're going to talk a little bit about the first half and also talk about moving forward into the second half, what we need to do. Great to have you back on the show, Coach.
Hey, great to be here.
Talking a little bit about the first half, I think the thing that when people were watching it, the first thing everybody thinks about is how great Har-Ber's special teams were. First of all, starting off, you had Peyton Kofer returning a botched field goal attempt by Bentonville down in the red zone, taking it back 100 plus yards for the touchdown there. In the very next kickoff, you had Brady Patrick recovering on the 6-yard line, allowing Har-Ber's offense to punch it in. And then a massive field goal there down, I believe it was a 42-yard field goal. All 17 of Har-Ber's points came courtesy of either a direct special team score or a very good field position set up by special team score. Is that sustainable moving into the second half?
Well, you certainly don't know if it's sustainable, but talking to the coaching staff right before the game, the one thing they did say that they needed to happen to be in this game and to win this game was to get some Bentonville turnovers. And it's not really a turnover. Well, I guess it is a turnover. That field goal was actually, someone got a hand on it down there, and we were able to return that thing 100 yards. So we do count that as a turnover and a score, and then the turnover on the kickoff return, absolutely. If that's going to be a key to the second half as well, is to be able to get those turnovers and make those turnovers turn them into points. And Har-Ber was able to do that on both turnovers that they did get in the first half.
Sure. We saw at the very end of the half there, Bentonville was able to throw a very long bomb. We saw there at the end, I believe it was a 40 or 50-yard pass there. They were able to get on the board. Do you think that impacts not just the game plan, but the mindset of the Har-Ber guys?
Yeah, well, it can impact. It depends on how they come out in the second half. Har-Ber had a great first half defensively, and giving up that one big play, that does eat into the score. You'd love to go in at halftime 17-0, but going into halftime 17-7, if you were to say that before the game, that we'd be up 17-7, going in at halftime with getting the ball coming back out, everybody would have took that every day. So we'll take that. I do think Har-Ber was pretty content in allowing Bentonville to have the quick strikes to the sideline. They have not been able to sustain a drive. I think that plays into your halftime speech there in the Har-Ber locker room. Their defense is playing great football, and they just need to keep doing what they're doing and limit those big plays.
Yeah, and we see a Bentonville team here that, of the conference leaders, has less offensive points for the first two conference games, but still still has 63 total points through the first two conference games. Har-Ber's defense holding them only to 7 points. We talked, I know Donald and I talked a little bit about during the first half about how Har-Ber's defense always had a bend but don't break mentality. Nobody really starts worrying when Har-Ber's defense gives up yards, but when they start breaking down on the goal line and allowing those touchdowns, that's when people get concerned. And I think that's been the defense's strong suit in the first half is, yes, Bentonville's had sustained drives, but the defense always finishes them before it materializes in the points for them for the most part.
Right, and that goes back to January, really. When you're preparing for the season, the bend but don't break mentality is really a don't quit attitude. And Har-Ber, that is built into those boys not to quit on anything they're doing. They're out there in January, February, and March when most people are in bed, and they are running 200s, and they're not allowed to quit. So that defense, they're not going to give up. You may see some chunks of yardage come here and there, but and they may give up a touchdown in the second half, but they're not going to give up at all.
Absolutely, and I think that's what makes them such a great defense is they don't have to be the most athletic guys. They don't have to be the fastest guys or the strongest guys, but you can always count on them to be giving 100% at the end of the game.
Oh, absolutely. Har-Ber's always going to give you a ball game.
Talking a little bit about the history of this game, Har-Ber hasn't been around for too long. I believe these teams have played 10 times before tonight's matchup. But outside of this game, the Tigers are 61-8 at home. They win a staggering 88% of their home games, thanks to just, I think, the sheer size of their home bleachers, and they just play very well at home. It would be very big, I think, for Har-Ber to come in here to Bentonville's home stadium and get their first win since 2008.
Oh, it'd be unbelievable, and really, this game is circled on the schedule every year for Har-Ber, and no offense to Springdale, Har-Ber and Springdale is a rivalry, but for Har-Ber and our players and coaches, they want to play Bentonville. They want to beat Bentonville. That's kind of a built-in rivalry that's, like you said, we've not been around very long, but these games are very exciting, and there's been some good ones in the past, and this one's going to be no different.
Absolutely. And just to mention, the Tigers are on a 14-game winning streak right now, which is the longest active streak in the 7A West. Har-Ber bidding to snap that streak, and here's to hoping they do so. Moving forward into the second half, what are some keys for both the offense and the defense that they have to materialize into reality in order to win this football game?
Well, I think you've already kind of mentioned it, Blake. The defense they have that bend but don't break mentality. They need to keep that up. They need to keep playing physical football. They are flying around the field. They're making tackles. It's okay to give up the sideline pass route, the bubble screen, the quick screens. Bentonville, they're going to come out and they're going to try and score, and they're used to coming and scoring a lot of points in games. If they can get that zone ground scheme going, it's going to be tough for Har-Ber, especially if number 99 is not back in the game. I don't see him necessarily in warm-ups down here in pre-second half warm-ups, but if Ramirez is not able to go, look for Bentonville to really take advantage of that in their zone run game and try and control the clock in the second half and just kind of ground this thing out and come back and win in the end. For Har-Ber, offensively, they've got to limit Bentonville's opportunities, and that means sustaining their own drives. And we have not done that either, really. We've scored on some big plays and some turnovers, but we've got to come out in the second half. I believe we'll get the ball back coming out, and it sure would be nice to have about a 7-minute drive right here.
Yeah, so from your time and your experience coaching at Har-Ber, what adjustments is the offense making at halftime in order to come out and begin sustaining drives?
Well, I don't know if it's going to be an adjustment. Har-Ber coaches prepare all week, with a game plan, and they're going to probably stick to their game plan. They may tweak a couple of things if they've seen something different in alignment or personnel that they think they can take advantage of. They certainly will try and do that. But really, Coach Wood, you know Coach Wood and Har-Ber, they're going to do what they do, and they're going to force Bentonville to take them out of what they do, and they don't think that Bentonville can do that.
All right. Hey, thank you very much, Coach. We're looking forward to seeing you back next week. You'll be color commentating for Har-Ber's home game at Fayetteville, so all you Wildcat fans tune in to experience that. He's one of the greats. Thanks, Coach.
Oh, hey, thank you.
Welcome back, Wildcat Nation, to Bentonville Tiger Stadium, where the Har-Ber Wildcats lead the Bentonville Tigers 17-7. Pretty anxious about the second half, Blake.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good half, really seeing if the offense responds.
Bentonville kicks. The kick is deep. Kick is going to go into the end zone, and it's going to be a touchback. So the Har-Ber Wildcats will get the ball first and 10 from the 20.
I think this right here, like Coach Scott and I talked about at halftime, is a statement drive for this offense. The ability to come out and show that not only can they sustain a drive, but the offense can put points on the board when they don't have great field position, I think is going to be key for them to solidify a win here.
So Chandler brings them to the line of scrimmage. We have Twin to the left, one split to the right, Hannon back behind Chandler. Blackston goes in motion to the right-hand side of the field. Hands off to Hannon. Hannon's going to be met at the line of scrimmage. I don't think he's going to get much. Looks like about 2 yards on the play.
Har-Ber staying true to its roots, going back to the run straight up to the middle of the field there. Showing they're still not scared to run at this big Bentonville defensive line. They're still going to do it, and they did it effectively in the first half. They just have to string a few of those together.
So Chandler back at shotgun. Luke Hannon behind him. Kunkel in front of him. Twin split to the left. Single split to the right. 11:39 or 29 left on the clock. Chandler dropping back. Looks to the left, and he's going to throw, and Blackston is going to be completed. He is calling that incomplete.
We had conflicting calls from two officials there. One of them ruled it a catch. but he deferred to the line judge who said it was incomplete.
Who was behind him. So with 11:22 left to go in the third quarter, it's going to bring up third down and 8 for the Wildcats.
There's a flag down on the 15-yard line. Right on that line of scrimmage, it's kind of in that area of holding, which is not what you want to see when you're backed up against the goal line.
It is holding against the Wildcats. And they're going to replay second down. So that's going to back them up 10 yards. That's going to be second down.
And 20.
And 20.
A little less than 20.
18 yards. Chandler back at shotgun. Hannon behind him. Twin split to the left, single to the right. Hannon's going to get the ball. He's going to jump to the right-hand side, and he's still on his feet. He's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage, so that's a 10-yard gain for Luke Hannon.
Smart play there, putting the ball in Luke Hannon's hands and letting him get those penalty yards back. That way you have a manageable third down. If you elect to throw it on 2nd and 18 and it's not complete, you put yourself in a very tricky conversion situation where if you don't get that, you do have to punt. At least in this situation here, they have a variety of plays that they can rely on to get that 10 yards.
So it's third down and 10, 10:49 on the clock. Twin split to the right, single split to the left. Trey Smith on the short side of the field. Luke Hannon behind Chandler, who's at shotgun.
Rare opportunity for Bentonville's fans to make some noise tonight.
Chandler drops back. He's going to be flushed out of the pocket. He's going to roll to the right-hand side. He's got some room, and
he is a little short.
No, he was down.
The line judge is marking him down, but he is still a little short of the first down marker. It's going to bring up about 4th and 1 for the Wildcats.
So it is 4th down and 1. The ball is on the 29-yard line.
If I was the Bentonville Tigers right now, I'd be very wary about a fake punt situation. Har-Ber's been known to run some pretty tricky fake punts.
Remember against Fayetteville 2 years ago. So Har-Ber punt team on the field. And it's going to be an end-over-end kick. It's going to get a Bentonville bounce. It's going to check about the 40-yard line. So Bentonville gets the ball on turnovers. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. 9:40 left to go on the clock. Not the first possession that Har-Ber needed.
No, it wasn't, but it still was just a first possession. You can't judge their entire second half performance just like you can't judge their entire first half performance off that first series. Guys coming off of a long break at that halftime, give them a chance to settle in and see what the changes have wrought a little bit later on.
So Ford back at shotgun, trips to the left. He's going to throw, he's going to keep it. And he's going to scramble for 5 yards.
Showing a little bit of that versatility there. Casey Ford listed at 6'6", 272 pounds. It's a very difficult quarterback to bring down. Even in the open field where you got smaller guys trying to come up and make tackles, he can just lower his shoulders and get an extra 2 or 3 yards. Not ideal tackling situations for some smaller guys.
So Ford back at shotgun, twin to the left, single to the right, single setback. And we are going to drop for a loss of about 2 yards. Robertson and David Val on the tackle.
I believe Riley Bean was in there as well. I believe he made first contact.
So that's going to be 3rd down and 8 for the Tigers with 8:46 left to go on the clock in the third quarter.
Yep, good job by the defense here, forcing a long 3rd down situation. Lets them play off a little bit, play the sticks in pass coverage.
It's worth noting, Har-Ber's defense only has a 3 front, and they're going against 5 and 6 of the Bentonville Tiger offensive line. They're getting great penetration. So Ford drops back, screen pass.
Oh no. He is short of the first down.
He's going to be a screen pass for about 7 yards. He's going to be short of the first down by about a yard.
Those screen passes where you have a running back that looks like he's coming to block and then releases for a pass are very hard to see, especially for the defensive line. I believe that was David Val that just blew right past the blocking running back, had a free shot on the quarterback, and Ford just dumped it right over his head there.
Looks like the Tigers are going to go for it. 7:44 on the clock. It continues to go.
I would not be surprised to see a quarterback sneak here.
Quarterback under center. They're trying to draw him off sides, and they do not. And it looks like he is going to... It's going to be close.
That much weight is hard to deny. They are spotting him with enough distance for the first down and signaling the chains to move.
So the Tigers get a first down. It'll be 1st and 10 for them on the Har-Ber 49-yard line. 7:22 on the clock. The Tigers are still trailing the Wildcats 7-17 here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and even when you're expecting it, when you only need a few inches or a foot, a quarterback dive is a very difficult play to stop. Even when you know it's coming, it's just big on big.
Trips to the left. Ford hands it off up the middle. He's going to be met at the line of scrimmage. He's going to get quite a surge from about 5 yards.
These linebackers on the Har-Ber defensive line are doing a very good job of making contact for almost no gain. Now they have to work on finishing the tackle, continuing to drive their feet through the tackle, because as of right now, as soon as they make contact, these Bentonville backs are still getting an extra 2 to 3 yards after contact, which is what's generating these second and mediums for them.
2nd down and 6 for the Tigers. 6:39 on the clock. Twin stack to the right, single to the left, single setback. Left hand comes in motion across field. Ford drops back. He's looking to the right. It's going to be completed for a first down plus 10 more. So they're going to have 1st and 10 from about the 29-yard line.
Chase Hunter there on the reception. You'd almost tell he was getting the ball by how fast he was coming in motion. As soon as he broke off that route, he was well covered by Blaze Brothers, but still able to get open underneath.
6:23 on the clock. Twins to the left, single to the right. Ford hands off around the right-hand side. He's going to be met at the line of scrimmage, and the surge is going to push him for about 4 yards.
Even though these Bentonville runs aren't flashy, they're still very effective run plays, opening up a variety of plays that they can run on 2nd and 3rd down. Har-Ber has to try to minimize these if they're going to stall this drive. But like we saw earlier in the first half, they seem to get exponentially better the closer they get to the goal line.
Twin to the left, single to the right. Ford back at shotgun, drops back, looks right, throws right, and is met immediately for the completion.
Solid tackle by Blaze Brothers there.
Brothers not giving them any room to run, so that's going to bring up 3rd down and 4 for the Tigers.
5 minutes and 38 seconds left in the third quarter.
So the Tigers knocking on the red zone door.
Really big 3rd down situation for Har-Ber's defense here. You really want to keep these guys out of the red zone, because even though Har-Ber's had success on special teams blocking and returning field goals, you can't expect to do that every time, and I'm sure this kicker has the ability to hit from this range.
Ford under center, hands it off to the lone setback, who is going to break it for a touchdown.
And that's the break that we were talking about earlier. You can't allow that to happen, but if we're going to follow the analogy, you can only bend so much before you do break, and I think that was the breaking point where they allowed another long drive that just one missed tackle and just ripped it out the gate for a touchdown run there. You can't expect to allow them to drive down the field and hold them every single time.
So the Bentonville Tigers line up for the extra point. 5:06 left to go in the third quarter. Snap is up, and the kick is good. That's going to give the Bentonville Tigers 14. Har-Ber still leads by 3, 17-14, with 5:06 to go in the third quarter.
And this change of possession is brought to you by Catering Unlimited and Tire Tracks. Big shout out to them. Thank you for donating the audio equipment to make this broadcast possible. And it means a lot to the fans and family that can't make it to these games, and to all other Wildcat and Bentonville Tiger fans that can't make it, being able to watch their teams play.
So interesting to see here what Har-Ber does as a response to the Bentonville touchdown.
Bentonville clearly came out a little bit stronger on their first possession than Har-Ber did, but don't discount Har-Ber's offense yet. They do have the big play ability that we haven't seen yet out of Trey Smith and Blackston. And Chandler's got the arm to get it to them. He just needs the opportunity to do it. Like Coach Scott and I talked about during halftime, the offense has to generate opportunities for themselves and look for them to attempt to do that on this next drive.
So Bentonville kick. The kick is up. The kick is deep. So that's going to be a touchback for the Wildcats.
Blackston's going to let it go out the back of the end zone there. Doesn't even have the option to return it if it crosses the goal line.
So the Wildcats will have the ball 1st and 10 from the 20 with 5:06 left to go in the third quarter. If you're Coach Wood, what is the response here? Are we going to keep chipping away at it, or are we going to start striking deep, Blake?
We might see a pass play here, specifically something down the field. Coach Wood likes generating momentum with big offensive plays, and it's something we haven't seen a lot of in the first half, minus the really long Luke Hannon run. So look for Chandler to maybe throw it down the field in this drive.
So Chandler back at shotgun, twin to the right, single to the left, fakes to Hannon. Trey Smith is incomplete.
He is very lucky that they called that incomplete, but more and more you see at every level of football, it's much more difficult to actually complete a catch. You have to turn your shoulders, you have to make a football move, you have to fully possess the ball with both hands. Like it gets very picky depending on who you talk to about what constitutes a catch.
So hands off to Hannon. Hannon's going to juke and jive. He's going to get about 7 yards, maybe 8 on the carry, depending on the spot.
Hannah showing his ability to get skinny there and work with what the offensive line gave him. It's one group that we haven't talked a lot about tonight is the offensive line. They've been doing a very good job, especially with how good this Bentonville defensive front is. I think that they've been playing exceptionally well and have gone uncredited for that so far.
So Hannon back to the line of scrimmage, across the first down, and about 3 more on top of that. So that's going to give the Wildcats a first down.
It's exactly what they needed there, a good third down conversion, moving the sticks. It's the first step to starting to extend a drives when you can consistently get first downs. It's a positive step in the right direction.
So 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Ball's on the 34-yard line. There's 4 minutes and 21 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Hannon back at shotgun, twin to the right, single to the left. Kunkel comes in motion. Hannon back behind him, fake to Hannon. He's got to throw. He's got a man downfield.
He's got Trey Smith.
And it is caught. It is a completion. 45 yards downfield.
Trey Smith, Har-Ber's leading receiver, had 360 yards receiving on 25 receptions coming into this game, and just added to it with a monster completion there from Fuller Chandler.
4 minutes, 5 seconds left to go. It's 1st and 10 on the Bentonville 27-yard line. Hannon up the middle. He's got some room. He's showing him a little bit of moves. And Hannon down to the 12, to the 13, actually.
Hannon again finding space in the second level. Offensive line generating just enough of a gap for him to squeeze through, and then he's got that powerful one-cut ability to make it only seems like one linebacker staying home in the middle of the field, and if he can make him miss, he's going to get a significant chunk of yards after that.
So Chandler back at shotgun. He's going to hand it off to Hannon again. Hannon's going to bounce around to the left-hand side, and we got a face mask penalty.
Knew that immediately. You saw his helmet snap around on the tackle, and they're going to call that penalty every time. They do not distinguish between the 5 and 15-yard varieties in high school football. If you lay a hand on the face mask, it is a 15-yard penalty, or in this case, half the distance every time.
Three minutes, 47 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Har-Ber on the 5-yard line, 1st and goal.
Be second down. I think you just corrected. It should be first down.
It's first down.
As it was a personal foul.
Yeah, it's first down. Looks like Har-Ber's going to take a timeout. We're going to take a timeout with them. You're watching Wild football on the Wildcats Sports Network.
Chevrolet has the longest lasting, most dependable full-size trucks on the road. And at Everett Chevrolet, we think the slogan, "Find New Roads," couldn't be more at home than in beautiful Northwest Arkansas. The 2015 Silverado has the most fuel-efficient gas V8 ever, perfect for those long drives in the country. And for those new roads that are hard to find, Silverado's rugged power will pull you through. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Everett Chevrolet in Springdale.
Welcome back to Bentonville Tiger Stadium, where the Wildcats are leading the Bentonville Tigers 17-14 with 3 minutes 47 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Har-Ber Wildcats have the ball on the 5-yard line with first and goal.
3:47 left in the third quarter. Har-Ber showing that ability to get down the field for the first time this game. The offense stringing something together and showing how effective they can really be.
So Chandler brings them to the line of scrimmage. We've got twin split to the right, single split to the left. Hannon back behind Chandler.
Waiting on the referee. Give the go-ahead.
Chandler sets up. Looks like he's going to keep it around the right-hand side, and he's going to be down about the 1-yard line.
Effective rush by Chandler there. See, people tend to forget because he's so good at throwing that he does have the ability to scramble. Alleged 4.6 40-yard dash speed. He can get to the outside and I mean really make plays happen with his legs.
3:36. The clock continues to drop. It's second down. I'm not sure why they have it up. It's second down and 2. Hannon met at the line of scrimmage. I don't think he's going to get any yards on the play.
Very solid pressure there by the interior of Bentonville's defensive line. A couple of the linebackers got in there. There were 3 or 4 black hats in the backfield on that play. It'll be second down here.
Chandler under center. Handed off, or up there for a Har-Ber touchdown. Troy Blackston.
Tyler Blackston.
I'm sorry. Troy is watching the game from the stands. I'm sure he'd appreciate the shout out.
Blackston there, they like to get him involved in all different aspects of this game. Very effective slot receiver, but they also give it to him on those handoffs, a little bit of misdirection like you saw right there. He's an effective blocker. He can run the ball well, and he also catches the ball well. He had a few very big plays earlier on in the season.
Har-Ber takes a snap. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So at 2 minutes, 49 seconds left to go in the third quarter, the Har-Ber Wildcats 24, the Bentonville Tigers 14, and looks like the Wildcat offense has finally showed up tonight.
Yeah, and not a moment too soon either. Bentonville was starting to draw close, finishing a drive there right as Har-Ber's defense kind of broke down a little bit in the goal line, made it a 3-point game, and Har-Ber's offense had to respond not only to keep the momentum but to keep the lead. And I think for the mentality of these guys, for these Har-Ber guys that haven't won a game, and their older brothers and cousins haven't won a game against Bentonville since 2008. I think they need to stay in the lead to kind of maintain their momentum. It's a lot harder playing from behind against a team that you haven't won against recently.
So Har-Ber lines up for kickoff. Be kicking from the 40 as usual.
Two minutes and 49 seconds left in the third quarter here.
Har-Ber needs a 3 and out here. So the kick is up. It's going to be returned from the 3-yard line. And he's going to be tackled about the 24-yard line. So the Bentonville Tigers will have the ball first and 10 from their... Looks like they're going to spot it about the 25.
Ramirez is back in the game. It appears to be Alejandro Ramirez is okay now.
So Ford back at shotgun. Bentonville lines up with a split twin to the left, single to the right, single setback. Ford is dropped for a loss.
And David Valve comes in and finishes the play. Coverage all over the place. Noah Hayward came in and jumped, which is usually ill-advised to do when you're approaching a quarterback, but caused just enough hesitation there in the quarterback's throw, and the entire defensive line was able to converge and finish that one.
Great penetration by Har-Ber. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 15 for the Tigers. Nice little shift in momentum here for the Wildcats. So the Tigers come to the line of scrimmage, stacked twin to the left, single to the right, single setback. Ford's going to fake a handoff, looks left, has a guy across the middle. He's completed. He's going to get across midfield.
Oh, no.
He's going to get down to the 23-yard line.
He is a shifty back. He has made a lot of guys miss tonight, and another big play there. When he gets a little bit of room, he's dangerous.
So they're going to give him the ball on the 25-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Tigers.
Har-Ber's defense once again backed up almost to the red zone here. It's going to be very crucial for them to put something together, put some kind of stop together, even if it's just holding them to a field goal.
Handoff to the right-hand side. He's going to break a tackle, and he's going to score a touchdown. So it looks like Ramirez, Robertson, and Asali not able to stop on that play.
And that's Jacob Clark. He came into this game with 500-plus yards rushing, right up there with Luke Hannon, one of the elite backs in this conference. And so expecting him to break runs like that, it wasn't out of the ordinary to expect. And pending this PAT, it's going to be another 3-point game here with the pressure back on Har-Ber's offense.
So Tigers line up for the extra point. The snap, the kick is up, and the kick is good. So that's going to give the Bentonville Tigers 21 to the Har-Ber Wildcats 24 with 1:41 left to go in the third quarter. We've got ourselves a 3-point ball game.
And I don't think anybody was under the impression at halftime that this game was going to be a blowout. Very rarely does it ever get out of hand. Usually see guys like Coach Scott was talking about. One of the strengths of not only Har-Ber's defense but their offense is that they will fight till the very end. If they have a 14-point deficit, they're going to play just like it's 0-0, or if they're down by 3. That's just the kind of team that they are. And so both these teams, very talented, have a lot of drive in them. And no question, it's going to come down to very late in the fourth quarter before this game's decided.
So Bentonville lines up for the kick. 1:41 left to go in the third quarter, 21-24. Har-Ber needs to answer. Kick is up. The kick is deep. It's going to go into the end zone for a touchback.
He kicked that one out the back of the end zone. I don't think it even landed in the white. Monster kick there from Bentonville's kicker.
So Har-Ber gets the ball 1st and 10 from the 20 with 1:41 left to go in the third quarter. What's the game plan here, Blake?
I think they stick with what they've been doing. For the first time this game, we saw them on their last possession take it down the field. A really explosive play in the middle and then back to the style of football that they like, letting their offensive line man up on some of these defensive linemen and then let Luke Hannon run wild with it.
So Chandler is back. He's got a man deep, Trey Smith, and it is in and out of his hands, incomplete.
Rare drop there for Trey Smith, Har-Ber's leading receiver.
So that's going to be 2nd down and 10 for the Wildcats from the 20-yard line, 1:34 on the clock.
First down coming out of the gate there. Like I said, Coach Wood likes to try to generate momentum with very big offensive plays, big and flashy passes, trying to come out of the gate doing just that, and was very close to accomplishing it.
Hands off to Hannon up the middle. He's going to get 2 yards on the play. Unusually short run for Hannon. Chandler back at shotgun, twin to the right. Single to the left. He drops back. He's got nobody open, but he's going to scramble.
He's going to be tackled just short of the first down marker. About 3 yards short, it looks like. Had the pocket kind of collapsing around him, behind him, forced him to push up in the pocket, and he thought he could get it with his legs.
So the clock continues to run, 34 seconds, as the punt team comes on for Har-Ber. It's 4th down and 3 for the Wildcats. Not wanting to give the Tigers any room to score.
And I think on top, this isn't just a punt here. You see the Bentonville Tigers getting very fired up at this because now they know that they have the momentum. Their offense has been putting plays together. It's going to be very important that this is a good defensive stop.
So it gets a Har-Ber roll. It's going to roll down to the 33-yard line, where the Tigers will have the ball 1st and 10 with 7 seconds left to go on the clock in the third quarter.
Wildcats have about 62 yards here to defend before the goal line. They need to do is move that intensity that they've been playing with it back when they have their backs against the goal line. Move it up here and play with that same intensity.
Trips to the right, forward back at shotgun, single setback, hands off to the right-hand side. He is going to be stopped for about a 2-yard gain. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 8 for the Tigers. As we go into the fourth quarter here at Tiger Stadium, Har-Ber Wildcats lead 24-21 over the Bentonville Tigers, but it has been a defensive game all game long.
You know, what's interesting is if you look at this average scoring charts, their average per games. So far this season, Har-Ber has started very well in the first quarter scoring, and then their second and third quarter have dropped a little bit from that, but been about equal to each other, and then their fourth quarter drops off a little bit more. Whereas Bentonville has the exact opposite approach. They start very slow in the first quarter, start to amp it up in the second and third quarters, and by the fourth quarter, they're firing on all cylinders. And so I think for Har-Ber going into this fourth quarter, their defense is going to have to not only keep their intensity level, but even kick it up a notch. This is a fourth quarter game and a rivalry game. They're gonna have to play at a new level in order to contend against Bentonville's tendency to score more points towards the end of the game.
So it's 2nd down and 8 for the Tigers. They come to the line of scrimmage. We have twin split to the left, forward back at shotgun, single setback, 1 split to the right. Ford hands off to the right-hand side where he's going to be dropped for a loss.
That's going to bring up 3rd and 11. Excellent play there on the outside edge, forcing a long 3rd down for this Bentonville offense.
So it's 11:42 on the clock left to go in the ball game. Tigers have the ball on the 32-yard line with 11 yards to go for the first down on 3rd down.
11 minutes and 30 seconds left in the game.
Twin split to the left, single to the right, single setback, forward back at shotgun. Ford looks. He doesn't have anybody open. And he's hammered on a completion. That's David Val.
I believe that was Nasali there.
It was Nasali.
Tali Nasali just brought the punch with him.
Handing out owies. No chance of completion. Brings up 4th and 11 for the Tigers.
I think he brought enough party favors for everyone.
Everybody's getting a swag bag to go home with tonight at the Bentonville Stadium. 11:16 on the clock, and Bentonville has their punt team on the field.
Excellent stop there out of Har-Ber's defense.
So it's
very short punt.
Very short punt. It doesn't even get across midfield. That's going to be about a 15, maybe a 20-yard punt for the Tigers.
Big change in momentum here. Har-Ber's defense came out very strong in this fourth quarter, gave us a 3-and-out here early, and then that bad punt there, another bad special teams play by Bentonville, setting up Har-Ber's offense, only 49 yards to go. Har-Ber still has the lead. Now they need to focus on putting it out of reach. A touchdown here makes it a 2-possession game, gives them the ability to kind of stretch this game out, run the football a little more, go back to what they're really, really good at, and that's just playing power football.
Twin to the right, send to the left, Hannon in the backfield. Hannon gets the ball up the middle. Hannon's got some room, and he's going to get about 9 yards on that first down. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 1 for the Wildcats.
Hannon been very effective tonight. I don't know how many yards he's averaging, but I can tell it's more than the 6.8 yards he came into the game with.
So the clock is stopped for some mystical reason here. Now it continues to go. I guess we're just going to arbitrarily start and stop it whenever we want to. Hannon back a shotgun, or excuse me, Chandler back a shotgun, hands off to Hannon. Hannon has enough for the first down.
Marching across the sticks. Har-Ber's offense does have a 3-point lead. It's still 24-21 with 10:46 left in the fourth quarter. There's no reason for them to panic, start playing like they're playing from behind. Right now they're playing to defend a lead, which is kind of what this offense was built for. They're built to burn clock while marching down the field and scoring touchdowns. If they can do that on this drive, it'll go a long ways towards putting the nails in the coffin of this game.
Chandler back a shotgun, hands off to Hannon around the left-hand side. He's got some wiggle room. He's going to go for about 8 yards on that play.
And it's plays like that that just extend his average and prove why he won the conference rushing title last year and why he is a very good candidate to win it this year.
So 2nd down and 2 for the Wildcats. 10:15 on the clock left to go in the ball game. 24-21 over the Tigers. One split to the right, one to the left. Hannon under center. No, I'm sorry. He is back at shotgun. Hands it off to Hannon. That's enough for
run.
First down. Hannon gets about 7 yards on that play.
They're going to keep running it like this as long as he proves that Hannon can be effective, can get 6 and 7 yards a carry. Might mix in an end zone shot here with a pass play, but really no reason to deviate until Bentonville proves that they can stop the effective rushing attack.
Otherwise, we're going to get a math lesson here at Bentonville Tigers. 6 plus 6 plus 6 equals 6.
That's not correct.
Oh. Hannon up the middle again for about 6 yards. $9:21 to go on the clock. A lot of clock being eaten up here by the Wildcats.
Yeah, very effective use of their run game, just chipping away at this Bentonville defense and burning the amount of time that they have to score, especially if they score a touchdown here. Turning it into a 2-possession game really puts a crunch on this offense, lets this defense play back off of an offense with Bentonville that likes to throw the ball a lot. So touchdown here, very crucial to solidify this game from a defensive perspective.
2nd down and 5. Chandler gets the ball, hands it off to Hannon again. No, Chandler keeps it around the left side. He's down to the 5 and out of bounds. Great little run, about a 10, maybe 15-yarder.
And that's going to set Har-Ber up with about 5 yards to go there. It'll be first down and 6.
So the first and goal from the 6-yard line, 8:50 on the clock. Wildcats still lead by 3, but they're knocking on the door for 6.
Bentonville's going to have a tough time keeping Luke Hannon out of the end zone here.
So Hannon back behind Chandler. He's going to get the ball. He's up the middle for a touchdown, Wildcats. Har-Ber Wildcats, Luke Hannon up for the score, a 6-yard run.
And the Bentonville sideline listening to the hammer fall on the first nail, making it a 2-possession game. It's not over by any means, but 8:48 left in the fourth quarter here. Har-Ber's sideline just electric right now. This field goal right here will put them up by 10 points. Put the game in the hands of Har-Ber's defense. Let them try to slow down the onslaught that has been Bentonville's offense.
Har-Ber lines up for the extra point. The snap is good, the kick is up, and the kick is good. So that's going to give Har-Ber the 10-point lead that we're looking for, 31-21, with 8:48 left to go in this contest. We're going to take a quick commercial break. You're watching Wildcat Football on the Wildcat Sports Network.
Welcome home to Lindsay Living. From value-packed basic apartments with appliances and washers and dryers to resort-style apartment living on golf courses with fabulous amenities, you'll love where you live and play. Visit lindsaymanagement.com to apply online and see photos, rates, and floor plans for all locations we manage throughout Arkansas and in surrounding states.
Welcome back to Bentonville, Arkansas, the Bentonville Tigers Stadium, where the Har-Ber Wildcats just scored, making it 31-21 over the Bentonville Tigers.
Har-Ber's offense in the second half has really found their rhythm, found their ability again, like we've seen all season long, to drive down the field, extend drives, and finish them with a touchdown, all while burning clock. Just showcase that this past drive. Defense coming back out, all they have to do is not get beat deep, like we saw at the end of the first half there. If they can replicate kind of what we've been seeing just recently, they're going to be completely fine.
So the kick is deep into the end zone. That's going to bring up a touchback. So Bentonville will get the ball, 1st and 10 from the 20. 8:48 left to go in the ball game. Har-Ber's holding on to a 10-point lead.
Before the Bentonville offense starts, Wildcat Sports Network would like to thank Catering Unlimited and Tire Tracks for donating the audio equipment to make this broadcast possible.
So Bentonville comes to the line of scrimmage. We have one split to the right, 2 to the left, single setback, forward back at shotgun. He's going to take the snap. He's going to hand it off up the middle.
He's got some room.
And he's going to have a 15-yard run there, so it's going to be enough for a first down plus 5. They're going to have the ball 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line.
That was Jacob Clark doing his best Luke Hernan impersonation.
8:42 on the clock.
You know, I say that and we laugh, but really Jacob Clark here is one of the candidates for the conference rushing title this year. Came into this game with over 500 yards. Very solid running back on the other side of the field, too, and we haven't given him enough credit this game. He's really done a good job putting this rushing attack for the Bentonville offense on his back.
Twin to the right, single motion to the left, forward back at shotgun, drops back, looks to the left.
He is hammered on the completion.
That is completed. Blaze Brothers bringing the pain. He did make the completion, but he's kind of wishing he didn't.
Clay Barganier on the reception. This is Bentonville's leading receiver coming into this game. And Blaze Brothers laying an amazing hit on Bentonville's top receiver.
2nd down and 4.
Clock will continue to run here. 7 minutes and 42 seconds. Been a few issues with the Bentonville clock stopping.
Yeah, apparently the Bentonville timekeeper just wants to stop the clock whenever he wants to, regardless of what the refs say. So it's 3rd down and 1. Forward under center here, single setback, twin wing back. Hands it off up the middle. He's met at the line of scrimmage, and he's going to be stopped.
He is stopped short of the first down marker. It's going to bring up a 4th and 1 for the Tigers. Well short. He's about a yard short. Clock continues to run down under 7 minutes. This is getting down to crunch time for the Bentonville Tigers in their home stadium here.
Fourth down and 1.
You are the Bentonville Tigers. You cannot give the ball back to the Har-Ber offense here. 6:38 left in the game.
Forward back underneath the center. And it looks like they're going to give it to him.
We talked about they are giving it to him. When you're 6'6" and that much weight, 270 plus pounds, just lean forward and roll over. As soon as the ball's set, the clock should continue to start again, or continue to roll again. And it does, down there 6 minutes, 27 seconds in the game.
1st and 10 for the Tigers. The ball's on the 45-yard line. It's 6:21, 6:20, 19 now. Twin to the left, single to the right. Ford back at shotgun. He's going to be dropped. Looks like
they marked him down.
I believe that's Nasali.
It was Nasali. Stalemated him, and they marked him down before he was able to break the tackle there. I'm not even sure it was a broken tackle. I couldn't hear the whistle. I think Nasali heard it, so we let him go. Clock will continue to roll. 5 minutes and 50 seconds. 2nd and 15 for the Bentonville Tigers.
5:40 on the clock. It continues to roll. Har-Ber still leads by 10 here at Bentonville Tiger Stadium. Second down is 15.
I'm by no means an offensive expert, but you'd think we'd see some more urgency out of the Tigers' offense here.
Trips to the left. Ford drops back. Looks to the left. He's having trouble. He's going to scramble. And he's
tackled inbounds.
The clock continues to roll. He's going to get 10 yards on the play, but that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 3rd down and 6.
The one thing Har-Ber's defense cannot afford to do is get caught up on where the first down sticks are. These corners and these safeties have to be aware of the deep ball here. And that might be a reason that we don't see a lot of urgency out of them, is because they're setting up a very long play down the field. So as long as these guys don't get beat deep, we're going to be okay.
Ford back, looks to the right. He has a man across for a 1st down, and it's going to be enough for a 1st down. So they're going to move the chains. Bentonville's going to get the ball 1st and 10 from the Har-Ber 44-yard line.
It's worth mentioning that the Tigers do have all 3 of their timeouts left, and Har-Ber has 2 of their timeouts left. 4 minutes and 45 seconds left in the game.
Ford's going to keep it up the middle, and he's going to... The ball is out! Har-Ber Wildcats get the ball. The ball back. 1st down for Har-Ber.
Bentonville learns what happens when you run too much with your quarterback. Very good at letting go of the ball, not good at holding on to it.
Not great sportsmanship here either, taking their helmet off and throwing it, but Bentonville is trailing by 10, 4:38 on the clock. It probably should be closer to 3.5 with the accuracy of the timekeeper.
That's
a lot of Bentonville people are leaving the stands right now.
They are.
It looks like it's game over as the Tiger fans are leaving.
Mass exodus. They've only seen 8 losses here since the stadium was built, and there's a very good chance they're about to see another one.
Luke handed up the middle for 7. 4:32. The clock continues to roll here at Bentonville Tiger Stadium.
We have seen one of the craziest high school football games you may ever see.
Not a single person leaves on the Wildcat side. But I'm looking at hundreds of people getting up and leaving. It looks like a fire drill over here.
You'll find that when you have a team that consistently wins a lot, especially in their home stadium, their fans are not very tolerant to losses. They will leave very early once they figure out that their team's not going to pull it out.
Fair weather. Hannon, enough for a 1st down.
They did give him enough.
So with 3:54 left to go in the ball game here at Tiger Stadium, looks like we're going to have a timeout here. The Wildcats are leading 31-21. We're going to take a quick commercial break. You're watching Wildcat Football on the Wildcat Sports Network.
First Security is here. Only here. So that means we're here, here, and here. Even here. And definitely here. Because here is where we want to be. For you. First Security Bank. Only in Arkansas. First Security is here. Only here.
Hometown. That word still means something here. It means we're neighbors. We do the right thing. We care about your family. And you deserve the very best every time you walk in the front door. Harps. Hometown fresh.
If you're looking for a dress or a tuxedo for a special occasion, A Moment to Remember has what you're looking for. We sell quinceanera dresses, prom and homecoming dresses, wedding and bridesmaid dresses, tuxedos, accessories, and more. We're located in Springdale at 1039 South Gutenson Suite I, across from Harps and Dunkin' Donuts. Our store hours are Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. We also take appointments if you need to come in after hours. We have what you need for your moment to remember.
Welcome back to Bentonville, Arkansas, the Bentonville Tiger Stadium, where the Har-Ber Wildcats are 10 points ahead of the Tigers, 31-21, with 3:54 on the clock. Chandler shotgun, hands it off to Hannon up the middle. Hannon's going to get about 4 yards, and he got a flag on the play.
I believe they're going to call a face mask there. You usually see that right in the area of the tackle. Now they'll put it away almost for the Bentonville Tigers, march them right into the Tigers' territory.
Face mask on the Tigers is confirmed. .338, 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Twin split to the right, single to the left. Hannon has the ball up the middle again. He's going to get another 5 yards. That's the Hannon Express right there, 5 yards at a click. As Bentonville calls a timeout.
We'll talk about this after the game, but I want to just mention it right now. You have a Har-Ber team that last week, winning their 4th game, eclipsed their win total from the entirety of last season. It's not stretching at all to call this Har-Ber team this year to be the most improved team in conference play. I think moving forward, and especially pending this Bentonville win, you're looking at a team that not only has state championship potential, but a lot of young guys on the team that are going to stretch into future seasons as well. It's very promising to see young guys that don't give up when they're facing adverse situations. And for this season, it's great to have senior leaders out there that know when not to give up and when to encourage these young guys and tell them when they have something to prove.
So the Wildcats back at the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down and 5, 3:27 left to go in the ball game. Have the ball on the 37-yard line. Chandler back at shotgun. He's going to hand it off to Hannon. Hannon sidesteps 3 of them. And he's going to get about 4 yards on that carry. So it's going to bring up 3rd down and 1 for the Wildcats as the clock continues close to 3 minutes.
Clock continues to roll here. Clock keeper seems on board with the program.
It's harder to hide the time and delay it when there's only 3 minutes left to go in the ball game. Third and 1 for the Wildcats. Hannon over the top. Looks like that's enough for a 1st down, and it is. Har-Ber Wildcats, 1st and 10. The ball sets on the 31-yard line with 2:43 left to go in the ball game.
Now, I can't speak for play calling here, but I can speak for the players. These guys are not content to run the clock out. They have, as long as these guys have been here, they've known nothing but loss to Bentonville. And so they want to do everything they can to get those games back tonight. Every single guy on that Har-Ber sideline and on the field right now is looking to score another touchdown right now.
Chandler back at shotgun. Blackston crosses in motion. Hands it off to Hannon around the left-hand side. Hannon another 6 yards, maybe even 7 yards.
Hannon's still running like it's the first quarter. Hasn't slowed down at all. Still dropping his shoulders and plowing through people. Still being explosive on his cuts. Very impressive.
We're going to start the petition now to change Luke Hannon's name to the 6-Yard Express. Every play is clicking off 6 yards. It's very impressive. At a hard-fought game against the Bentonville Tigers that, he's basically been the workhorse the entire game.
Yeah, and Bentonville now electing to use one of their 2 remaining timeouts, try to slow down this clock burn. We have 2 minutes and 12 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Har-Ber still with a 10-point advantage, up 31-21 over the Bentonville Tigers.
So it looks like we got a final from our partners in Springdale. Fayetteville 70, Springdale Bulldogs 21, and that's a final in Springdale, Arkansas.
Coming into that game, Fayetteville was averaging 56 points a game, just patting that average now and inching them closer to a state record.
Hannon up the middle on the right-hand side. He's close to a first down there. They're going to mark him pretty close. I can't tell.
They're going to measure it. They're taking an official timeout here.
Official timeout. And we're going to take a quick timeout. You're watching Wildcat Football on the Wildcat Sports Network.
This is Jack. And this
I am starving!
is Jack's appetite. It's never satisfied.
I'm hungry. Seriously, dude? What?
Then Jack's mom started serving Tyson Anytizer snacks with all white meat and lots of protein. They're the only snacks that make Jack's appetite disappear. Tyson Anytizer snacks. Consider snacking solved.
First Security is here. Only here. So that means we're here, here, and here. Even here.
Welcome back to Bentonville Tiger Stadium. 2 minutes, 1 second left to go in the ball game. Chandler under center, I formation.
Wow.
It's like a fumble on the snap.
Fumble on the quarterback sneak, but it does appear that Har-Ber got the ball back.
Nope. Bentonville has the ball back.
A lot of jubilation, but it is still a 2-possession game, and they have 1 minute and 55 seconds left. Good to mention, though, Clayton Kunkel is back in the game. That was a little bit scary when we saw him go down on the far side of the field. Good to see he's in playing condition still.
1 minute, 55 seconds left to go. The Tigers have no timeouts left. So be looking for quick passes towards the sideline.
Yeah, and in situations like this, though, it's usually the plays that you wouldn't expect. They might run something over the middle of the field knowing that Har-Ber's expecting an outside pass.
So here comes the pass to the sideline. Ford's flushed out of the pocket. He's got a tackle for a 5-yard gain, but the clock continues to run.
Now we're seeing some hustle out of the Tigers. They're going to get on their horse and try to erase a 2-possession deficit in less than 1.5 minutes.
Minute 30 at the clock. Ford drops back, looks to the left. It is intercepted.
Blaze
Brothers. Back down to the 25-yard line, and you can feel the wind sucked out of the Bentonville Tigers' lungs as the Har-Ber Wildcats intercept it to surely put the game away. Now it's a fire drill here at Bentonville Tiger Stadium as most of the fans start flooding out.
The Bentonville coaches are making an appeal, but they're not going to get it. They're not going to throw a late flag based on a coach's afterwards appeal.
He's got his sailing shoes on, though. It might happen.
Unfortunately for him, this is a football game and not a used car lot.
Or debate. 1 minute, 23 seconds left on the clock. The Tigers are losing by 10 points. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. They have the ball on the 25-yard line. It's like we're going to sit there and let the clock drop. the Tigers not exactly sure what's going on there.
Really lazy off the ball. They don't want to play anymore.
Not a lot of hustle out of the Tigers tonight, as they not used to losing, but that's exactly what's going to happen here tonight in your home stadium. 1 minute, 3 seconds left to go on the clock. .53, 52, the clock continues to roll.
Play clock at 12 seconds. Now they're a little quicker off the ball. Depending on when they spot the ball, we might have to snap it one more time. And that'll be the ball game, as they have not started the play clock. The Wildcats will win 31-21 over the Bentonville Tigers.
Great celebration on the Wildcat side of the field. Great win, great victory for the Wildcats.
Not since 2008 have Wildcat fans been able to celebrate a victory over Bentonville, but this is their year. Excellent win. First step towards a state title for these guys. We're going to cut to a quick commercial break. We'll be back right after this. You're listening to the Wildcat Sports Network.
And definitely here. Because here is where we want to be. For you. First Security Bank. Only in Arkansas.
If you're looking for a dress or a tuxedo for a special occasion, A Moment to Remember has what you're looking for. We sell quinceanera dresses, prom and homecoming dresses, wedding and bridesmaid dresses, tuxedos, accessories, and more. We're located in Springdale at 1039 South Gutenson Suite I, across from Harps and Dunkin' Donuts. Our store hours are Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. We also take appointments if you need to come in after hours. We have what you need for your moment to remember.
The Youth Bridge Bully Buster program is this program that we are pushing through the schools to make increase awareness of bullying in the schools, not just for those who are bullied, but for the bullies. The Youth Bridge Bully Buster program is symbolized in these orange wristbands, and kids can wear them proudly and say that they're going to stand up to bullies and they're going to seek assistance, they're going to seek help, they're going to talk to parents and their teachers to let them know that either they're being victimized by bullies or their friends are being victimized by bullies. These kids are wanting to go to school to get an education. They want to hang out with their friends and they want to feel safe when they go to school. And when they're having challenges with their peers, we need to make sure that not only are the kids who are victims of bullying taken care of, but also to try to see what things that the bullies are needing as far as like social skills training or mentoring or any kind of help or understanding as to what's going on with them. Because sometimes it's not that they have an innate meanness to them. And one of the things that we have to do is go in, and sometimes it's a family intervention, and we can meet with the moms and the dads or the guardians or anybody else who's interacting with the kid who is having these challenging behaviors, and just put some things in place and to redirect them in order so they can be successful in the community and in the schools. YouthBridge has clinicians on staff that are experts in working with families that have these types of challenges, from mental health issues to mental illness issues. We have licensed professional counselors, we have mental health paraprofessionals, case managers, drug counselors that can get involved in a child's life to try to improve their situation. And if the family is needing more eyes and ears to be advocates for them, then YouthBridge has a team that can do that. And so with the YouthBridge Bully Buster campaign, we hope to bring awareness and action to bullying in our school systems.
Welcome back to Bentonville, Arkansas, the Bentonville Tigers Stadium, where the Har-Ber Wildcats defeat the Bentonville Tigers 31-21. With us back in the booth is Coach Scott and Blake with the post-game breakdown.
Yeah, so talking a little bit, we're going to start with, before we roll into next week, give us a recap of the game, Coach. What do you think Har-Ber did well in the second half, other than what, maybe including what we talked about at halftime, that really sealed the game for them?
Well, in the second half, I really thought, of course, Bentonville came out on fire in the third quarter with a couple of big runs by the running back, who you mentioned is really a solid running back. But I thought the fourth quarter was all the difference. Har-Ber's defense showed up and really shut Bentonville down in the fourth quarter. And you also saw Har-Ber's offense sustain a drive, get points on the board, and then it turned into the Luke Hannon show. And you guys mentioned it several times. Luke Hannon was getting 5, 6, 7 yards a pop. They really couldn't stop him.
Absolutely. We talked a little bit about at halftime about how Har-Ber's offense had to finish drives, and they came out in their second possession and really showed their ability to extend a drive. I believe it was 80-plus yards all the way down the field. Luke Hannon had a great play there. Trey Smith on a fabulous reception from Fuller Chandler on that drive. And I think that's when this offense kind of clicked. They realized that, hey, it's business as usual. This is what we've been doing all year long. It's no different just because we're playing Bentonville. And as soon as it clicked then, it seemed like it was almost easy for them moving forward in every possession after that.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we talk a lot about Luke Hannon, but that offensive line in the fourth quarter and the second half, they were creating some holes for him to run through, and it doesn't take much for Luke Hannon to get through there, but he was hitting the second level and third level consistently tonight. So that speaks volumes for our offensive line, and for them to come out in the second half, make whatever adjustments they had to make at halftime, and be successful in the run game against a pretty solid Bentonville defense. They're not going to give up 31 points to too many opponents this year, so that was pretty special.
Yeah, and we talked about it a little bit, but talking about it again, Bentonville Tigers coming into this game were 61-8 at home. 88% of the games that they play here that they win, and chalk that up to a very enthusiastic home crowd. But what we saw at the end of the game tonight, when their team was going to lose, you saw a lot of fair weather fans. And you even saw it earlier in the game. You might have predicted that they were going to leave early if it got ugly, because they got very quiet when something did not go Bentonville's way. Whereas you'll see a lot of other teams' fans will get up and cheer their team on when something bad happens to allow their team to feed off that energy. This entire side of the stadium just died. And so we were taking pictures in the booth of the fans just mass exodus from the stadium. It was something to behold, especially considering the size of the stadium. And I think you can chalk that up a little bit. You can chalk up this loss a little bit to that, is Bentonville's inability to close the gap that Har-Ber opened up very early on in the game, because the Bentonville fan support was not behind them. Only when there was a massive play did we ever hear the Bentonville fans inside this box. And so I think as Har-Ber fans, we're very fortunate to have very loud fans, very supportive fans that are always behind the team regardless of how bad we're losing.
Well, much to your point, what I've noticed too is the quarterback, Ford for Bentonville, trying to stoke the fans up. If you have your own team trying to rally your support from your own fans, that's never a good situation. It should be the opposite. You have to curtail it. I mean, that's the whole point of a home field advantage. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And, our fans came out in droves tonight. We had a great crowd. And I know there are a lot of old Wildcats at home watching the broadcast, listening to the broadcast, and they are feeling this one right with the Wildcats that are on the field. This has been, like you said, Blake, kind of one of those things that we've not been able to accomplish in quite a while, and especially to do it at Bentonville and to spoil their homecoming, it makes it so sweet. This victory we need to enjoy it. But again, you've already mentioned it. Next week we don't have much time to enjoy it. We've got Fayetteville next week.
Yes, Coach, and since you brought up Fayetteville, let's go ahead and start talking about that a little bit tonight. Fayetteville absolutely dismantling Springdale today. Springdale going to Fayetteville to play. The final score was 70-21. Fayetteville hanging 70 on Springdale's defense. Fayetteville is the only other undefeated team left in the conference, and so Har-Ber and Fayetteville will play in Springdale at Wildcat Stadium next week. And by all accounts, if the teams win out, that could serve as the conference championship game. You have the only two undefeated teams left, and unless something weird happens with Fayetteville and Bentonville later, pending the outcome of next week's game. It's going to be a big one, almost as big as this one, if not bigger. Fayetteville's offense through the first 2 weeks of conference play, it put up 113 points, and through the first 5 games of the season, I don't have the updated average, they were averaging 56 points. Now obviously higher since they hung 70 on Springdale. So, Coach, looking forward to this Fayetteville game. Like you said, we need to celebrate, enjoy this win. What's the mindset moving forward in the next week?
I think your mindset is just to continue to get better. You know, we saw tonight our defense, again, they played a great ball game. Offensively, we got better in the second half as the game went on. But really, just getting better. Every day in practice, working hard and getting better, not getting ahead of yourself. Yes, it's going to be a big ball game at Wildcat Stadium next week, number 1 versus number 2 more than likely. And these guys, their mindset needs to be one play at a time and getting better every day in practice.
All right, so thank you again to Coach Scott. That was our post-game show. We're going to send it back over to Donald for your outro. Thank you for listening, Wildcat fans.
You've been watching the Wildcat Sports Network. On behalf of Superintendent Dr. Jim Rollins and Athletic Director Wayne Stellick, I'm Donald Tucker for Blake Tucker. Have a safe weekend. You've been watching the Wildcat Football on the Wildcat Sports Network.